That was The Clash. You listen to Russell Brand on Six Music. This is our Six Music show. What we do with our mouths and brains and whatnot. Good morning and that. Do you see who's over there? Why, it's Matt Morgan, of course. You alright, Matt?
Yes.
Why are you sulking?
No. Why have you got your hand down your trousers?
'Cause I like it, it's comfy. Why do you keep doing blow-offs and making this studio stink?
Shut up.
Sitting here eating that stinking biryani from a newsagent. If the show was in a toilet, it would be more appropriate, your guttural behaviour and constant grunting.
Guttural doesn't mean of the gut.
It means of the gutter. And which is, frankly, where you've dragged us.
I had to eat that because I'm committed to the wheat-free diet, which you two have given up on.
I have not. I've not had any wheat.
Yes, you have. You had some wheat the other day.
That was a couple of days. Let's not bicker and argue about the contents of our diet. Let's bicker and argue about the content of this radio show. Let's not be... Trevor?
Yes?
What's the matter?
Well, I'm just saying, you don't have to be committed to a diet like it's an ideology or some sort of political cause.
It's not really, is it? It's not like, you know, Zionism.
Well, you can say that now, Locke, after having a great big baguette.
I hate myself after eating that baguette.
You should hate yourself after eating that baguette.
What else
not least because you ate it from between someone's thighs. Ghastly spectacle it was to watch and all.
That was the only bit that I enjoyed.
Nasty business. So, yeah, I mean, we were thinking about talking about time, what with the clocks going back, but I mean, what are you going to say? I am a Time Lord, I've come here from medieval Britain, I've got a message. Mind you, how would they have invented that technology?
Lateness, times for being late, excuses for being late, things that have gone wrong.
Well, guess what? Once when I was at school, I was late, and like the teacher goes, "Why?" Like I'd already established myself a reputation as a bit of a joker, right? They go, the teacher, Miss Hillary, something I can't remember her name. She had ginger hair. She probably was about 23 years old. I really like the idea now. Now we're adults. If you wanted to seduce a teacher, you could.
I know, it's amazing.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah. But where do you meet them? If you start hanging around schools, that's going to lead to difficulties, isn't it?
I met a teacher the other day.
Oh, why are you hanging around this school? I'm here to meet teachers, really? Really? Well,
teachers
are involved the police.
Meet
are
teachers
they?
all the time.
Yeah. Really? When did you last meet a teacher?
I met a teacher at that gig in Sheffield.
What? When?
We did a gig in Sheffield.
And you met a teacher?
Yeah, she was called, Rack.
You should Miss Rack?
Yeah.
Miss Rack?
Miss Rack, that was her first name. She didn't say, hello, I'm Miss Rack.
She should have some sort of authority over you, Trevor, because if she lets you in, that's when the problem starts. Miss Rack?
No, her name was Rack.
Her name was Rack.
Rack the teacher?
I think she was called Rack, yeah.
I don't believe you. Have you ever met a teacher, Matt, outside?
Yeah, listening. Yeah, I have.
When?
Loads of times. When you say, what do you do? And they go, oh, I'm a teacher. And you go, alright, primary or secondary?
Right.
Oh, primary.
Well,
that's
anyway.
Exactly. Went out as
Miss Betts! Miss Betts, I fancied her. And then there was another one, Miss something, Miss Hillary, I can't remember her name. Anyway, like, she goes, why are you late in front of the whole class? You know, I was late. And I goes, well, and did it in this voice and all. I went, well, there was this great big spaceship. Like that, and everyone laughed, right? And like, then she goes, stop it. You know, you're causing a bad atmosphere here at this school. But really, I've realised retrospectively that I have had catchphrases all my life. When I was little, I used to go, don't do that. Right? Good catchphrase.
Don't do that.
And then, when I was a bit older, I demand an explanation.
Why did you used to say, don't do that?
A lot of my babysitters, Matt, took certain liberties that by any stretch I couldn't be expected to tolerate.
So much it became a catchphrase.
Don't do that! Don't do that!
Tell a teacher!
Tell a grown-up! Inappropriate contact! Yeah, bad really, but there you go. It's made me the man I'm not. So, yeah, so it's all...
I think, yeah, time's a good thing.
You think time's a good thing? I think it's too ethereal.
No,
I think it should
funny.
Be teachers.
Russell used to have
teachers.
No, teachers, that's not bad.
Teachers.
Can I just say about you having a clock that was set 45 minutes into the future? Russell used to have his living room clock set 45 minutes into the future.
And the kitchen clock.
And the kitchen clock, but not even to the same degree.
Bit of future, different bit of future.
So no clock in his house was reliable, and he thought that would make him earlier.
Which is why I'm never late.
You are always late.
You pair of dirty Judases, betrayal!
You don't know what time it is.
But that wasn't why he did it, Matt. I'll tell you why he did it. It's so when people come into his house, they're disoriented.
They're disorientated when they come in my house anyway, and then when they try and leave, he goes, don't do that! Don't do that! Do do this! Do this again! Do this with your bra off! Good old life!
So what, we're going to talk about teachers?
We could talk about teachers, yeah. What teachers did you have a crush on? Let's see if we can catch up. Trouble is, our teachers will be old now and we wouldn't fancy them
I bet
anymore.
one of our teachers is listening.
We never fancied them in the time.
I imagine all your teachers, Trevor, have all retired. The poor sods, they probably thought, Christ, we were wasting our time.
Mr. Perkins is still teaching at Campion School.
Mr. Perkins?
Yeah, he is, yeah. We've got a listener at my old school who listens and lets me know what happens at there.
Really? What's going on? What's going down at Bugbrook?
Exactly, yeah.
The Bugbrook School.
Don't that sneer at me.
I've got a listener who lets me know what's
Here's a question from Heather from Brighton. What sports day is on its last legs. I used to hate a sports day. For me, that was a humiliation day.
Yeah.
When I was very young, there was a race where, you know, where a race where it had a lot of things, like you had to run through a hoop, then a bit with an egg and a spoon, then a bit in a sack.
Not very sporting, is it, all that? That's ridiculous.
It's not sporting, it's a
there's
farce.
proper things like the high jump.
Yeah.
And then an egg and spoon race.
Yeah, what you know, like, in the Olympics, egg and spoon has very, very low credibility.
Bag pick-up thing, we have to, the shuttle run thing.
They think that it's a knockout is the Olympics at school sports day, and that you're aiming towards it's a knockout or some sort of...
The school take it really seriously, everyone takes it really seriously, but there's the egg and spoon race.
Yeah.
Which is just a tennis ball.
It's not even a proper egg.
We didn't have eggs.
I think we might have had an egg. I think we might have had an egg. You can hold that with your thumb. Then there's the race what your parents do. My dad's never there, of course. Embarrassing. My mum just sat there.
Dad's race.
The mums and dads race, sobbing on the sidelines. We were doing one of them ones where you have to jump through a hoop, get in a sack, put an orange under your armpit, type sort of...
That's what that MP died of.
I just had to jam an orange in my throat until my eyes rolled back in my head. And eventually I sort of saw a Jesus-like mist. Yeah, right, and then I did the first bit of the race, ran one way, but then you're meant to run all the way back. But instead of running all the way back, I just ran to my mum.
What? Yeah. Because you were a maverick, or because you were a weak little child?
I think I was a combination of both, and to this day remain just that, a maverick weakling.
Oh.
When I did a running race once, I just looked at the people that were cheering me on. I didn't look where I was going.
Well, so you ran, eventually you cluttered into the crowd.
Ran like that. All
Trevor
the way
played to the crowd.
Yeah.
Trevor actually was astonishingly, he was a good sportsman, played cricket for his county, didn't he, Trev?
Yeah, I was.
Good footballer
I was captain
as well.
of my school at cricket, and I played football.
It's astonishing to hear of you excelling in any area of life, for those of us that have to tolerate your mediocrity on an almost daily basis. Well, Trev. Oh, don't be hurt by that.
What part of cricket did you do?
What part of cricket?
Matt's not a cricket follower.
Bowler.
I was a bowler and a batsman, a captain, a slip fielder, a short leg.
Trev, don't slip into your stand-up now. Anyway, we've had a question from Heather from Brighton. She goes, on last week's show, you said at 7 years old, you thought you were in with a chance with your babysitter. My son is now nearly 7. Should I be worried? I was going to ask a 17-year-old to babysit, but now I feel a bit nervous, says Heather from Brighton. Yeah, do be nervous.
Depends on the child, though, because...
So what's he like? Get him on the line. We'll judge him.
He goes, hey, Chuts.
Hey, sweet cakes, why don't you come and sit down on the settee?
Well, there's rules about going to bed. Kind of silly rule.
Don't you think that's kind of restrictive? Why don't you and I just have a little chat? Cigarette? You know, if he's like that, then worry about getting the babysitter in. Also, make sure the babysitter's thoroughly checked over, because otherwise you might find your son going, "Don't do that!" for the rest of his silly little life. Give us a ring, Heather. We'll talk to your lad. We'll work out what sort of babysitter he should have. Or send us an email at russell.6music, bbc.co.uk 64046. Good the radio station's doing so well, ain't it? Good that 6 Music's doing so well, and that we've hoovered up all the credit for a radio show that's on 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. This 3 hours is being credited. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I did see my name in it. It's a bit disappointing.
Well, in that case, of this 3 hours, I've hoovered up all the credit for us three. All the credit for 7 days a week, 24 hour a day.
Your billowing ego.
Into the ego it goes. More praise, more credit. Yeah.
I met someone yesterday, though, who said, aren't you on the Matt Morgan show, Trev?
Don't tell me things like
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Who was it?
That's the
where were you doing voluntary work in an asylum, Trev?
No, it was a gig. Someone came to a gig and said, "You're on the Matt Morgan show, aren't you?"
I think
finally.
It's obviously some kind of sick joke from a lunatic.
I can't remember what your name is.
I don't know what you're called, young man, but this dreadful racket's going to have to pack in at some point. So we've got quite a lot of good things coming up on this radio programme. You can text us about teachers, or if you want, the abstract and non-existent concept of time.
We've got a plump for one and not...
No, let's have a competition.
No, let people decide. We're a democratic show, Matt.
Vote with their feet.
Let them vote with their their feet with their little tootsie pools. So yeah, it talks about teachers, crushes you had on teachers, relationships you have on teachers, whether or not, if you've taught any of us at school and you're still not been institutionalised, why not get in touch with us and we'll talk to you.
All my teachers.
Well, I like some of my ones. I've met some of them recently when I went back to my school to give people certificates and that, and Mr. Seal, he was nice.
What about when I had to join, when we wanted to film at your old school?
I
we
know.
had that message from a teacher. I think we've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
There's a message from a teacher going, yeah, he said, yeah, we can do that. I think some people remember Russell here. And then we got a phone call saying, it was an answering machine message saying, yes, some of the teachers do remember Russell. We won't be filming. He wasn't remembered in the best light. He pinched me.
He kicked girls. He was an unpleasant
Responsible
child.
for a series of fires.
The lad's not. We don't want him back here. Right, so we'll talk, over the course of the show, yeah, we can chat about teachers, we can chat about time. Imagine if you could fit them both into the same thing, wouldn't that be good? We'll call Noel Gallagher later on. Matt's got a cultural review. What are you culturally reviewing this week, Matt? Or do you want to keep your powder dry? Do you not want to spoil the surprise?
I might keep it in the old gym.
We're doing
Keep it in the gym?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Don't spunk it.
That's what you don't want to do.
No.
Don't leave it in the gym. Save it for the big night.
Keep it in the gym.
Until the match, eh? There he goes. It's sporting Matthew Morgan.
Lock it up.
Keep it in some sort of analogy.
He's leaving it in the shower.
He's keeping it in his mixed metaphor. What about you, Trev? You doing a Sonic Enigma?
I'm doing a Sonic Enigma. I've done a Sonic Enigma.
You've done it already. It's a pre-recorded one. I wonder what it will sound like. I mean, here's it. I'll just come in, Mr. Locke.
We haven't had that
Every
sound.
week, it's that.
No, it isn't.
It's every week, it's that.
that.
It's not.
Oh, hello. Oh, stand up, sit down. Oh, crikey.
There is somebody coming in through a door.
There you are. Always the same thing.
It's not always the same thing.
We'll have Mr. Master Sue go and pinch my skin at some point, I imagine. So this week, cool, blimey. I went Strictly Come Dancing last night.
I know, I heard about this. How sad.
Well, actually, my mum wanted to go, so I went there and I sat there. It's good. People dancing.
You are such a little show boy, aren't you?
It's a
Dressed as like a rock
exotic.
Dressed like a rock star, going to Simply Come Dance. Hello, Brucey. Yes.
I met Brucey, actually.
I'd love to be you in 50 years' time.
I did meet Brucey, he was nice. I had a chat to Brucey,
What did he
chat
say?
to them judges. He just shook his head solemnly at me and said,
Do one of
get
his
out.
catchphrases.
He didn't, he just shook my hand, he was
Did you know
nice.
who you were?
I went to his judgment. I don't think he did, actually. I was there, I went there and I sort of met him. He just sort of looked at me with a sort of air of sorrow, you know,
Really?
and yeah, he did. And
Perceptive of him.
he saw through the facade into the glum, doom-filled hatred.
So what
of him
happened then? Because someone texted me and said, Russell's on Simply Come Dancing, or whatever it's called, Strictly Come Dancing. I thought, oh God.
Here we go.
It had to
Someone
happen.
texted me about it. Someone emailed me about it as well.
Well, I was there.
Yeah.
Up the front.
I said, what, is he being interviewed? And they replied, no, he's just transfixed on the action, like a, and then...
Woofter.
Like a woofter.
I was enjoying
you
the
were.
action. It's brilliant. It's really good when you watch it. All that dancing. They try.
Would
They
you be
try
a
their
contestant
hardest.
next
No,
year? Why
I would
not?
because I'm no good at dancing.
You are, mate.
And
Don't
I'm
do
too
yourself
busy. Those are the two reasons. Next year we've got a lot on our Channel 4 show starts soon, and it's going to be brilliant. Noel Gallagher's coming on it. Who else? Courtney Love, David Walliams, brilliant guests we've got. Brilliant, sexy new set, exciting new television show. So, yeah, alright, should we listen to some music now?
Yeah, let's listen to a guy called, what's his name?
Yeah,
Morrissey.
Oh, guess what I was...
Whoa. How that got in there?
Morrissey's management sent me
Morrissey likes me.
Hey, Morrissey likes me, alright? He
Russell
likes
said
me.
that this morning. What an idiot.
He does like me.
Oh, Morrissey likes me.
He likes
His
you.
management told me.
Yeah, well, you're responsible for most of his royalty checks, aren't you?
Let's give that man some more money.
How do you know? Well, hang on, so you hang around the record company long enough and then someone comes out and goes, yes, sir, we spoke to him and he does like me.
Thank you.
then
Now,
you
would
skip
you
off.
mind please leaving? You're making the
This is not a
receptionist
toilet.
feel upset.
You can't do that.
No, like I got sent this letter and
What?
I got sent a
He
letter.
sends letters. He writes with his quill. Self-important quill.
Oi!
I think I like him. He sends a letter and then you've won a competition because Morrissey likes you.
Morrissey likes me. He sent this CD of like someone else on his label that he likes, and I was meant to bring it here and play it. I forgot though because I felt I was under
Blown
pressure.
it, then he won't like you for long.
I will play it next week. Don't worry about that.
Likes Klaus Nomi, that's who he likes.
Listen, stop going about Klaus Nomi, Trev.
Are you being paid by Klaus
Morris,
Nomi?
I'm just saying, Morrissey, Klaus Nomi.
You lied as well because he's not from Salford.
He's not from Salford, he's from Austria.
German. Austrian.
It's fairly obvious.
So
that was it. I can't believe you believe
I
that.
like the simplicity of playing everything from Manchester for one show, and it was ruined
we'll make up
by him.
for it. Let's listen to Morrissey now. This is a live performance.
Manchester music.
But stop it, Trevor. Stop rabbiting on. Concentrate on what you're doing. Right, let's listen. Look at him. He's got no idea about the radio, how radio works. Right, so let's listen to Why Don't You Find Out For Yourself. It's recorded at the Theatre Royal 1995. A little bit of information, little tidbits like that will make this listening experience all the richer. Send us your emails about teachers or time. 640466 music. He's bumped into his bloody mic. Look at him. He's like he's a loose cannon.
Travis, it's...
Oh, there's old Morrissey singing his little mouth off. So we're talking about, right, you know, we just now goes, you listen to Six Music, Russell Brand, like, you know, he goes just now, oh, should we talk about teachers or time? Well, let me tell you, gentlemen, we have been inundated with
area?
Anecdotes about teachers. No one mentions, oddly, the abstract concept of quantum physics and that. Morning all! Oh, this one's not about anything. Morning all, I'm doing a car boot sale while listening to you, says Joe in North Wales. How much should I sell greatest hits of Duran Duran and Simply Red for? You've got to give them away, Joe, and you really to give them away, lure people to the car boot sale.
That's a very good
Yeah,
idea.
we can do let's do a promo. Turn the radio up loud now, Joe, and there we go. Come to Joe's car boot. Joe's car boot. There's Simply Red and Duran Duran at Joe's car boot.
Wow.
Don't you think that will draw people?
It's a huge crowd now.
I think people are now clamouring round at things out of Joe's attic, aren't they?
I think that's
Toasters, Breville's.
Digital radio's broken.
I think, yeah, Joe should give us more details of what she's selling, really.
Or a car boot sale, then we can do a series of on-air adverts for Joe's car boot sale. Yeah, but I reckon in Duran, Simply Red, best hits, £2.
Oh, £2? 50p?
50p?
50p, come on.
Duran, what was it got good hits on it?
Oh, Duran Duran's one of the great bands of the 80s, surely.
£2. Matt Whitby, if you could go back in time, what thing would you tell someone else? It's time related. If I could go back in time, I'd say,
Don't alter the course of history, please, Brand.
Don't alter the course of history, like in the photo in Back to the Future, I will fade out.
Yeah, don't tell JFK to duck or something.
Yeah, right, I'll go back, right, I'll go, JFK, you know, you've had these affairs, you've been carrying on, for
Is
God's
it true
sake.
he had a tunnel where women were brought in every day and he slept with different women?
Every day he had his own little sex tunnel going down under the White House, yeah, and he said if he don't have a fresh piece of ass every day, he gets a terrible headache. And because he's president, people just had to get him it.
My God.
Down his little sex tunnel.
Is
So
that why
I
you're
go...
digging that little tunnel under your ass with a spoon? Shaking it out of your trousers.
Yeah, I have to. I'm just trying to keep it on the low down. I'm using my cat's litter tray to store all the debris in.
That's amazing they did that.
It's good, isn't it, that JFK could get away with that? And then, because they're all gangsters, weren't they, the Kennedys? Oh, no, that might be libelous. They're probably not gangsters, but Joe Kennedy had unusual business
Don't do
interests.
that.
Don't do that!
Label a dangerous family.
He's coming back. It's a brilliant catchphrase. I've just realised the clocks went back last night. Love and metal hugs from Alison, up too early in Manchester. If you could be any children's TV character, who would you be and why? Bagpuss! Because when Bagpuss go to sleep, all the others have to go to sleep. And no one else allowed to live their life without Bagpuss.
Danger Mouse was quite cool, wasn't he?
Yeah, but then you got to hang out with Penfold, which we already do, in the shape of Trevor Locke. We essentially live that life anyway.
Who is
Banana Man.
What does he do?
He was, but Danger Mouse had a sidekick who was a bespectacled twit who was always slowing Danger Mouse down and going on about things from the old days and claiming to have smoked aspirin in his school band. There was a lot of similarities, actually, Trevor. It was uncanny. Wendy Bruce says to her, oh no, this is from Malcolm. He goes, I've just finished listening to last week's show. It was brilliant. Will today's be as good? This story is irrelevant. At my local Asda, other supermarkets are available, he's put that himself. They have shopping trolleys with little cars on the front which children can sit in. The poster advertising these trolleys features a little blue bear called Boobaloo.
What? That's ours.
Right! Asda, we'll bring you down. Is it right? Okay. Do you think that they mean it in a sexual way? Says Malcolm.
Of course they do.
Boobaloo, the little child's bear. Boobaloo, get
How's
my
it spelled?
toy. Exactly how we would spell it. Boob and then A, then Lou. Boobaloo. Right,
That's got
Asdas.
two rude words in it. And that
Very rude.
belongs to
Lou,
us.
that's rude. That is a place where you could have a cuddle with someone you barely know. Boob, that is why you've gone in there in the first place. The very fact that they would have a bear called Boobaloo shocks me to the foundations of my irritable
Well,
soul.
they'll have a crocodile sitting called Bumbelow.
Bumbelows. Yeah, they will.
Yeah, we own that.
And I think reckon they'll have a koala called Erection. Is that the whole of that as the situation's gone hopelessly out of
Listen to
control?
this.
Too good to miss.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
What
This is a question to all three of us. If you had to murder the other two, how would you do it?
Trevor, we've sort of put like a chopstick up his nose and bring his head down.
Chopsticks.
I love them. They're interesting things.
Oh, is this because of that thing when at school everyone goes, oh yeah, in an exam once, someone had
put
two
chops.
sharp pencils up their nostrils and slammed their head on the desk?
Yeah, no one ever
Lie.
done that. That was a
No one did
lie. No, that was an urban myth, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally.
No one done that with two sharp pencils. I'd murder Trevor with a chopstick, then pull his head down the desk. Matt, I'd make him. I'd set up some pipes to his bum and his dinkle,
Stupid.
and so that he had to consume his own mixturation and
like some
feces.
Twisted Seven stuff.
Yeah, because you're so obsessed. I met Matt's family the other day. Me and Matt, we went and done a gig in Dartford and met Matt's family. We've found out even more anecdotes about Matthew's toilet habits when he was a lad.
Don't be so
Him and his
stupid.
family
Watch out, Russell.
gathered around a tape recorder. Even his
Only the
younger-
children of my family.
the children of the family gathered around the tape recorders. You know them old tape recorders where it's like a big record button and your microphone, you talk into it. It was a novelty gift of
very
the
immature.
Morgan family. They all stood round it
Oh,
doing
we've got to go to the news.
doing blow-offs.
We've got to go to the
Yeah,
news.
hold on, we'll go to the news in a sec. All stood round it doing blow-offs into
Me
this
and my
tape
brothers
recorder.
and sisters, as children,
Done-
recording
then
farts.
Matt done diarrhea down onto it. He goes,
Which was very
I've got one."
unfortunate.
Pulled down his trousers and pants and done diarrhea all over a tape
was a
recorder.
child.
And they've got a tape of it. They've got a tape of it to this
recording of
day. We should get that tape. You, Matt, that is a shocking
Where's
behaviour.
these tapes of you singing, I'm a baby with
With a beard. We'll get those tapes one of these days. Now then, it's all well and good us going on about the past and
not
teachers
talk
and
about
whatnot.
the toilet.
That's, it's not, listen, who does the story relate to? You. Don't say, oh, like this to show scatological.
You wait till my cultural review.
Yeah, you wait till my review of what Matt done earlier in the week with a pooing in a plastic bag. Wait till that comes
Out
out.
of necessity.
There's never a justification for that. Come on, let's get to the news. The world is bigger than our bowels. So here's a little show called The News. It's with Catherine Cracknell. Now, Catherine, if you don't get the word boobaloo into this news broadcast, we're going to pinch my skin all over the news and make it sound silly. Come on, Catherine. I spoke to her before. She goes, "You're taking years off my life. Please stop playing mind games with me. I can't take it anymore. I'm sick of it.
She
It's
can
ruining
take
the
it.
news." She can. Get boobaloo in. Come on, Catherine. Boobaloo, come on, it's in the news. It's a big story. Here it is. It's good old news from Catherine Cracknell. Yeah, boobaloo, boobaloo. That was the Kinks, of course, Victoria. Before that, we had a bit of good old boobaloo news. I should have seen Matt like a nervous schoolgirl throughout that. Don't do that over the news. Don't do that over the news.
I get in trouble for it, and B,
How do you get in trouble for it?
I got blamed last time.
You didn't get blamed.
My
They
skin went out.
They blame Adam, the producer, and who just go that it was them that done it. No one can
Two
really get
people were saying
blamed.
to you, don't do it.
It's only the music news.
And then you went, didn't know how to use the buttons even. So you just scrabbled at the buttons like a dog. What idiot.
Out it went, no. Out over the boobaloo news. The boobaloo news. I thought it was good. I think it's a laugh to do stuff like that. Not if this has been a terrible tragedy in India.
Over someone talking.
No one was talking. It was over a jingle.
that was alright.
Well then, what are you so sulking for then?
Well, I just don't like it. What we were talking about was how we'd kill each other. Now, Russell.
Hold on, no,
I've
I've got
kill
to-
Russell.
Catherine Cracknell says she'll say any word, but she just not made up words like boobaloo.
Well,
She'll
how
have
do
to
you know
say
she says
proper
that?
words.
That is a
How do you
good
know
policy.
she says that?
Because she just passed it on through Adam.
Alright.
Catherine Cracknell, she's in the same building as us, isn't she? I was speaking to her earlier.
So how would I kill Russell?
Let's not get bogged down in that stupid negative rubbish. Look at this from teachers.
Look, he said how he'd kill us.
He's not interested.
We've handled that question anyway, it's negative. I snogged one of my teachers on a night out recently, very strange
Oh, my
experience. Loving you and your work, Russell, from Mandy in Brighton, aged 12. At the age of 5,
hold on
joking, I'm joking, she's not 12, she's probably left school by now, I don't know how old she is, but she probably left school, isn't she, I hope, if she's done that. At the age of 4 or 5, I walked up to my babysitter, winky in hand, and asked her, "Do you know what this is for?" 30 years later, I still get reminded
Why
of
do
this
you think he said
when
it
I
in that
see
voice?
my mother there
know what
and
this is
babysitter.
for?
Because he was, when he was 4 years old.
Do you think it was a genuine question?
Of course it was.
Well, he's not going to say it in an aggressive voice anyway as a child, is he? I don't think it was a veiled threat. So, hello, Matt, Russell and Trev. A teacher at my high school got sacked for giving himself pleasure under his desk during my class. Anonymous
God.
text.
Good grief.
That's the ugly side of teaching emerging. Of course, most teachers are lovely. This is from Brendan in Weybridge. When I was about 9 or 10, I had a vague inkling that I was not as other men. That's a nice Uncle Monty style euphemism. I hated sport, of course, all that shouty stuff and balls coming at you. Nonsense. But I enjoyed the showers after, saucy devil, where our sports teacher, Mr. X, to protect his blushes. Immediately I had a teacher called Mr. X, I'd be so suspicious.
Exactly.
This Mr. X
Why can't we
character.
name him?
No, you must never know the true identity of Captain X, your new teacher. Mr. X would stride around the changing rooms shamelessly nude. Nice it was. P.S. What's happened to the webcam this morning? I don't like the webcam inquiry from Brendan in Weybridge.
After that,
Being so close to this voyeuristic account of his childhood
Let's put
teacher.
on a show for him.
Trevor, well, you got in trouble last time we done that as well. Why aren't the webcams working? Are the webcams not working?
I don't know.
The webcams are all broken. It's a shame because, Brendan, I'd like you to know that the three of us look more erotic than we ever have done before. Particularly young Matthew in his peephole bra eating fruit with resentment. Look at him coughing like a seaman.
I want to talk about how I'd like to kill you.
Same as negative. Let it go. Get over it.
Look.
This is from Louise. My teacher used to tell you off by putting her face right in your face, but drop her top down just enough so you could see her boobies.
Oh.
And when we had mixed PE, she wore lacy knickers under her gym skirt.
No.
We were 10 years old and no one ever mentioned it. Well, no one ever mentioned that they were 10. For God's sake, don't let her know we're 10. We could lose the lingerie display. All right, miss, let's jog round a field. I think we used to warm up before our run around the field in shock, said Louise. Louise, that sounds lovely. What is going
What
on?
I used to
What's
hate-
happening, Mike?
Nothing. What I used to hate when you were getting told off, not the proximity of their face and they smelt of coffee, but the poking.
Yeah,
And
the
they used to poke
jabbing in
you
the chest.
Did they?
You do.
To the rhythm of their
Hated it.
words. Why will you not learn? Probably because of this rhythmic teaching style you're employing. If you spoke in more lucid sentences, I could concentrate.
I remember that's having to sit in an office while a grown man shouts at you.
Doesn't seem right.
Right in your face, and I just used to look at a point on the wall and just really focus on that and switch off. I didn't hear what they were saying.
I used to eroticize them. I used to think, you people, you have sex. A lot of you do it in the school grounds. Like, I just always used to
through
think-
it.
Yeah, just used to think of them as like erotic figurines.
I don't know why they had to shout.
They can't do that now, surely, that no one
Things
gets
have changed
shouted at
now,
us
I
for
hope
now.
so, but-
I mean, that is a horrible way of communicating with anyone.
If you're at
Yeah.
school now, you should let us know what it's like.
Do they
Who
still
shouts?
shout?
Who gets shouted
Yeah,
at?
the young Jack, he's at school. Hello, Russell. I was listening to your podcast about birthday parties. It made me remember my 9th birthday. I was playing football in the garden. The ball went in the bush. I went in to get it and found an assault rifle. I was shocked.
Wow.
My dad ran over stunned, and before I could get a word in, started firing it at my friends. Luckily, it was not loaded, but it was the highlight of a rather dull birthday. I had the police around my house for the rest of the day looking at the weapon.
Wow.
Cheers. Give us a shout out, says young Jack. Alright, Jack. I suppose. I mean, I don't know what a shout out constitutes.
You have to
These
shout it
days,
out.
a big
Oi,
shout out.
Jack!
goes-
Oh, Jack! You little sod! Put that rifle. What was that rifle doing in your garden, you little rat bag?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
What is?
An AK-47 in your garden.
It's an assault rifle. Is that an assault rifle? I mean, I don't know much about
I
weapons.
think an AK-47 is a machine gun.
Today I didn't even have to use me
It's an assault
AK.
gun, isn't it?
No, and a rifle
Let
is
us
a
know.
rifle.
Perhaps you're into Guns and Ammo magazine.
There we
It's
go
a
then.
strange thing to know about.
Trev, come on, you've got some emails that you sort of asked for, like a right little ponce a minute ago.
Alright guys, I once fancied teacher...
Why are you doing that voice?
Because he's from Leeds.
Leeds.
Leeds. Alright guys, once fancied a teacher at primary school called Mrs Clark until one day she pointed back at classroom revealing a whopping pit of hair. This image still harrows me
What,
to
at
this
the back
day.
of the classroom?
And I can't think of teachers in the
There's
school.
the hair pit.
What is the pit of
I
hair?
shaved that off myself. Is it her armpit? I
Oh,
presume.
right,
Or it
okay.
could be a gulping pit of hair in the back of her
I thought it
room.
was something at the back of her head that was open and hairy.
Trevor, you need to learn more about biology, mate.
I understand that. An armpit of hair.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that then?
Well, nothing really. It's just, you know, in the modern world, we like women to be shaved, don't we? I don't know what the ideology behind that
Doesn't
is.
bother me.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Bothers
Absolutely.
Russell.
So, I'm allowed to. I can't help it. I've got a very
weird,
primitive, unsophisticated sexuality.
Yeah.
It's very. I like.
Because if it was primitive, you wouldn't mind hairy women.
exactly. It's not primitive.
It's not like a primate's sexuality. I mean, it's primitive as in unevolved. I like women that you would like if you read Loaded
you
magazine.
like bodybuilding Terry Wogan.
I do like bodybuilding.
that is wrong.
That's very odd.
There was a picture of Terry Wogan with a nice muscly body in the
off the
BBC's
advert.
in-house magazine. Right, Terry Wogan, and then it put a big muscly body on him. Cooper, quiet, I'm trying to work. Cooper, this is alright, this story will be good for me, and good for the future. There's a picture of Wogan, right, but put Wogan's head on a big, beautiful, muscular,
Everyone
sculpted,
knows it's on an
buff
advert at the
body.
moment on telly.
Oh, it's on an advert, is it?
Yeah, everyone's seen it.
Is it?
It's out there.
I just went, he looks really attractive. Fancy him.
No, you
That's
said
not what you
that
said.
turns me on.
And then we went to
Wogan
have a
with
look,
muscles.
and then we were horrified.
He looked nice, I thought.
Yeah, I know.
Now I just think of Wogan as just a big, sexy old glamour puss.
I reassessed what I think of you.
Why?
Well,
Very revealing, that
very
is.
revealing.
So what?
That turns me on. Wogan with muscles.
And it did turn him on. You could see the light in his eyes.
If it was a normal man's head, would that still turn you on?
No! I
So
want
what is it?
Wogan's
A
head.
combination of the friendly face of Wogan and...
Friendly. Imagine Wogan coming around all friendly and lovely, chirpy, making wise-ass jokes at you. Then he takes his shirt off and goes, "Here, Russell, take a look at this."
No one knows about this.
Russell, I got a little secret for you. And he undoes his shirt and he's all buff and that.
What
and
would
then
you
he
do?
gives
Fall to your knees?
I go, "Oh, Terry, I wish we could do it 3 times a week like when I was growing up." And then he cuddles you up into his big mighty arms and carries you off.
3 times a week, didn't he?
Wogan in that beige
It was live,
set.
wasn't it?
He's live and all.
Live Wogan.
Oliver Reed, do you remember
Georgie
that? George
Best.
Best.
We only remember the drunks. Remember
Common
that.
Wisdom. He walked off into the audience.
He walked off in the audience.
Yeah.
Did that excite you as a lad?
Did, actually.
And then you think I'm a pervert for being turned on for Wogan. There's you, old wisdom.
Walking around in an audience.
Dirty devil, wasn't he? Oh, bless him.
Is
Right.
he still alive?
Yeah.
Norman Wisdom, yeah, of course he is. He's still going well strong. So, standing in the way of control, the gossip. I read about their gossip, right, that the lead singer, she was old, dead poor and that, grew up in Arkansas and fries and eats squirrels for her lunch. That's like when she was growing up. That's a new kind of poverty, isn't it? Like,
Well, I think that people eat squirrels in Arkansas.
not the mayor.
I think it does.
The mayor won't have a squirrel.
It's like eating pigeon.
No.
Yeah, it is. It's a delicacy.
It's not a delicacy.
If you do a squirrel the right way, it's fine.
Trevor, you with your reputation for slaughtering small mammals, probably think it's okay. You and Jason Weathercoats smashing in the skulls of them blue
Please,
tits.
that was a humane killing.
Claricoats, wasn't it?
No, Jason Claricoats.
Hey boys, who were wiping out that family of blue tits. Remind people, in case people haven't heard it, what happened.
A family of blue tits fell out of their nest on a hot summer's day and were dying in the sun because their mother couldn't get any milk to them.
They don't eat milk.
Of course they do. Well, no, they don't eat
Blue
milk.
tits don't eat milk. They're birds.
All
They
right,
have
well,
worms.
whatever. You couldn't have worms or the little things because the mother was frightened. The mother
you
disowned
put
them.
them back-
Why was the mother frightened, Trevor? Because of you, Jason Weathercoats,
No.
waddling around,
No.
swinging shovels and pickaxes
Learn
through the
something
sky.
from me. Learn something from me now about bird life.
I know about bird
It's
life.
Darwinian. If a bird falls out of the nest,
The mother
that-
feeds it.
No, that shows that bird has got the wrong DNA and it's weak. And if it grows
It
up,
just could be a
True.
mishap, Trevor.
if it's a mishap, there's a genetical reason
Have
why
you
it's a
not
mishap.
read The Ugly Duckling?
Nothing
That was the
is
ugliest
accident-
one. It grew up to be a swan, which I've
Didn't
never
f-
understood.
it
How
didn't
it went
fall-
from being a duck to
Oh,
a
no.
swan.
It's mysterious.
Immediately,
That is mysterious.
Because it was.
it
wasn't
weren't
actually
even a duckling. Why was it with other ducks?
It got lost and it got
Mixed in
picked
with the
up a load
ducks.
of ducks.
Right, that's
Don't
as
tell
simple
me
as
you
that.
really didn't know why.
Well, no, I thought he was with other members of his family.
No,
then
he was
grew
a
up to be-
cygnet. He wasn't a
You
duckling.
idiot.
That's the
So
whole
it
point.
should have been called the cygnet.
It should have been.
Misleading.
No, look, he's the ugly duckling.
Duckling. As a
Duckling
duckling.
with a claws. 'Cause he
The
isn't
ugly
really a
duckling. He's not even a duckling. The whole story, if you
Most
ask
people
me, is-
work that all out when they're about 3.
Exactly.
I'm glad we're working it through now. Now, the
It's
3
been troubling
bears.
me. What's going on with these guys?
made at the same time. Why isn't it all cooled to the same temperature?
Why's one got salt in it? Hey, why can't they just love little Goldilocks? Yeah. Why is all the porridge different? Right.
Different sized bowls.
And why's grandmother living in the woods for anyway?
Another story.
But why live there? Just live in an old folks home or in
a
an
house
annex.
in the woods.
Live in an annex. No wonder these people came up against such difficulties. Trevor, you were saying about slaughtering innocent
I'm
birds,
just saying that if
like the Herod of the aviary.
Look, if a bird falls out of the nest, that's an indication there's something wrong with it.
No,
Don't fall
not
out of the-
necessarily.
Yes,
Trevor.
it is.
Preposterous.
They've got to have that
Might be a
system.
badly built nest.
No, it's not. Well, then, therefore, don't let those animals come to maturity and breed on with their bad genes.
Trevor, if
so
you-
the mother
Don't
will
use
just leave them
Darwin to justify killing baby birds.
It was a mercy killing. They're there. They're going to
Not a
starve to
mercy
death. They're going
killing.
to die in the
You're not
sun.
Sinn Féin, Trevor. You have to stop making these kind of outbursts. It's ridiculous.
Look, they're there. They're going to die horribly and slowly in the sun.
Yeah.
Or Jason Clarycoats will come along and take a spade and
At your
chop-
behest.
Yes, because
You are the chuckling puppeteer.
I couldn't do
between-
it. I couldn't do it. I knew it was the right
Clarycoats.
thing to do. I knew it was the right thing to do.
How ironic, you've got a little kingfisher pin.
You've got a kingfisher
on your-
pin, which I bought him out
Did
of...
you?
Yeah, I bought him that.
Normally he has it upside down just to subvert the idea of it.
Yeah, the anti-kingfisher. You are the anti-kingfisher, Locke.
I ain't.
You are. Go on then. So then you and Jason Weathercoats...
Well, I said, Jason, look what's happened to this family of blue tits. There's 6 of them there.
Look
They're
at
only
that
going to die.
propaganda, the way he treats us. Look what happened, Jason. Can you not see that they're struggling?
As if to suggest that I tipped them out of the nest. No, I didn't. They fell out. They fell out.
Trevor, why
And
did you
I went
say
to
that?
save them.
It's
I was
upsetting
there
for
with...
most normal people.
I was there with a pipette of milk trying to bring them back.
They don't want a pipette of milk.
Well, but they wanted something. I
don't
couldn't give it
have
to them.
milk.
I couldn't. Whatever they
Probably.
wanted,
This
I
is
couldn't give it.
Not the first mistake you've made involving pipettes either, Trevor. Getting that Pupini Sisters band on this show because you thought they were the pipettes, being one of the first errors that you made in that area.
We said we'd never mention that.
Well, it's mentioned now. So, Trevor...
But they were very lovely when they came
they
down.
were brilliant, and I
Lovely.
wish them every success. And
Well, they're doing all right. They're
doing
doing
well, aren't
really
they?
well since they've been on this show.
good, I'm glad. They were lovely.
Yeah, they're on tour now.
Yeah, but that does not mask the fact that you thought they were called the pipettes.
Yes, I
Noel
did
Gallagher's
send them a
done pretty well out
message.
of it as well.
No,
He's got
Gallagher's
great hits
career's
out.
gone from strength to
Unbelievable,
strength.
isn't it?
We've got a golden touch in a way. We are the King Midases of radio. Although King Midas did balls his life right up with that talent initially. No one ever mentions that.
They don't, yeah.
It was bad that Midas had that.
Give it a couple of years, Russ.
I'm just dead of the game when it comes to mythology and folklore. I'm a Joseph Campbell figure. Come on then, so, so you killed all them birds.
Well, Jason
essentially without
was
cause.
4 years older than me. I looked up to him. I said, Jason, you can do this. Look, what's going to happen? He says, I've got to chop their heads off, Trev. And I said, go
Hold
for it.
on,
Here's the
Trevor.
spade.
Don't
You
try and
told us that you
reallocate
did
blame.
I asked him, I said, look, there they are. I think we've got to, do the
What
kindest
about when
thing.
we got out of that car the other day and Trevor opened the door, banged into the other bloke's car.
I
The
didn't.
bloke looked round and Trevor
Shocked and
walked
horrified.
off, just walked off with that, like sort of...
Like he was in a
car
French
third, He might
farce.
as well have started whistling and
Yeah, actually
walked off.
pulled
And
his
somebody
collar.
else, who was it, Gordon, had to open
Someone
the door and
looking
go,
after us.
Sorry mate, like that.
We had to clear up your mess,
apologise.
Trevor.
No,
you.
Gordon told...
Gordon is the tour manager. We were on tour. We were in a car park and a service station. We all got out of the car. Trevor slammed the car door into the adjacent car's side panelling, then got out, and instead of, like a courteous, normal man, apologising, just sort of shuffled off. Like,
I didn't shuffle
like, might as well have opened up a newspaper and pretended to read it and covered his face with it. It was a ludicrous affair.
It was a little dink. It was not a slam. It was a dink.
little
No paint
dink.
was chipped. Nothing
Stop trying to
happened.
minimise. Bird slaughters are justified by Darwin. Smashing into cars are just little dinks. What kind of topsy-turvy world are you living in, Trev, where you can smash your way, marauding through life like a pirate king?
Gordon told me, he said, shut the door, Trev, and go to the toilet. And I just went off.
yeah, and then he gave Trevor a special little cuddle.
Go to the toilet. What sort of order is that?
Go to the
toilet and await me there.
He's the tour manager.
We'll work this out in the lavage. you know?
Someone wants to know if we've ever come close to death, or what is the closest we've come to death.
I used to hang around in crack houses, right, and there's a lot of nonsense used to
got
go on
shot
in
at.
there. I got shot at with a tiny gun off of an estate when I was trying to score drugs. Terrible to take drugs, bad to take drugs. I was there with this dealer. He was on a bike, and we put the bike in the back of the cab. We went along to this estate. He goes, wait down there. He went up to the top of this
Was
tower
that
block.
dealer who we never knew what gender it was?
That's right, it was that one. You could never tell what gender this dealer was. Is it a really ugly girl, or is it a really weird bloke? We could never tell. There were so many odd features about the face of this dealer that you could never work out the gender. I was always just trying to catch a glimpse of some sort of package or booby.
What about the way he walked?
Well, she, sort of,
she.
mostly they were on a
BMX
bike,
all the
so
time.
you could never really
Oh,
tell.
it's difficult, isn't
you
it?
could
Yeah.
never judge their gait.
But
Trevor.
have you ever seen a lady on a BMX?
Only in the film BMX Bandits, Nicole Kidman was on one.
Yeah, she
so
cycles differently.
I think there is a
wasn't her.
precedent.
Their legs move differently.
Definitely wasn't that. Well, anyway, this one you couldn't tell. Trevor, you can't if you can't tell from looking at someone's face, how are you going to tell from the way they ride a BMX?
It was
Then they
really weird.
They went up into this tower block, fired. Not them, or someone fired a gun at me. It pinged off the roof. It was only a little air rifle or something, but if it had hit me, it would have hurt.
It would hurt, yeah.
Still
wouldn't have
milked it
killed
as
you.
if it had been a real gun, though, the story.
Huh?
You still milked the story as if it had been a real gun, like an assault cannon.
How did I milk it?
Phone me up. Yeah, should change my lifestyle, And I was going, yeah. And he goes, you know, earlier when I said I should change my lifestyle, it was because I could tell he was desperate to get something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, earlier on when I was saying about my lifestyle, I don't know if you know, but I was shot at today.
It's pretty mean on those streets out there.
What happened? Oh, I hit the taxi. Blimey, did it make a big hole in it? Yeah, there's a little dent. Little sort of, little tiny chip of paint came
It
off.
looked like Dennis the Menace had blown a pea at it. It looked a bit like it was I do
So that's
remember.
not really close to death, is it?
The world of drugs, I was close to having a headache. And also, but no, a lot of time in them crack out, well, one time I remember, there was this, me, a couple of prostitutes and a drug dealer were going into a crack house for some crack. They started he started, like, getting really aggressive with this prostitute, and I said, perhaps you shouldn't be so aggressive too with this prostitute. He was like, yeah, come on in, man! Oh no! Man, my depth, and then I got in there, it was a nasty, crack houses, the atmosphere in there is terrible.
Really?
The decor, awful. The clientele, abysmal.
Really?
This is my Russell Brand's crack house review. I mean, if you insist on taking crack, just go home and do it there. Do not do it. Don't do crack at all. Awful.
That's a better idea, isn't it?
Buy it there, or you just go there to...
You get the crack there, yeah, no, it's not like a...
It's not a bring your own party type
No, you
thing,
don't bring a rock party.
a bridge night.
No, right. Oh, what have you bought? Oh, this is very nice. No, you go there, you get the crack there, then you just stay there, because where else you got to go in the case of most people, but I obviously didn't belong in that world. There was one I went to once, and like there's this woman that served up from her bed. She was sort of in bed, and there was all sort of people surrounded her, and this opiated sort of crack atmosphere, the air thick with fug, people in every room, people slumped in the bath, like the end of the world, like a Hogarth painting, all these people slumped in corners, ghastly place really, and also the quality of the drugs was awful.
And then you titting about dressed up as an MTV
dressed up as an MTV presenter. Hello! Woohoo! I'm Russell! Give us some crack!
Oh, that was one of his old catchphrases.
Good little catchphrase it was. I hope it's saying your own name. Yeah, terrible times. That was, I think I was close to death in those situations.
Well, I used to think you were going to die.
Did you, mate?
Not in those situations, but when I used to see you on your sofa, I'd be talking to him and his eyes would roll back in his head and he'd go like that. So I used to go, I'll go now, Russ. I'll come by in the week. just borrowing all your CDs and PlayStation. Yeah, I thought you were going to die.
I was alright though now. Look at me, fit as a fiddle I am.
Well done.
Things all turned round, everything's alright now, ain't it? All nice.
I once jumped on the train tracks, which was really stupid.
You nitwit.
Did that thing where you race across the train
Never
tracks.
do that, playing chicken
So
against
stupid.
the train. So naive.
When I was younger.
You must never do that. And then, of course, you know, you seldom mention it, but when you're in Australia and you fell in the water off that boat, remember?
Don't try and belittle it.
Floundering about
Went to
in the
sea.
sea.
There was a storm. The boat capsized.
Well,
I
the
had to be
storm, it
rescued.
rained.
No, it
There's
was
a
bad.
spot of rain. The boat.
Shark-infested water.
It's not Jaws. You're not Robert
If it happened
Shaw.
to you, mate, you'd have... you'd have just given up.
I would not.
You would have done. You'd have actively drowned yourself.
I'd have probably
Fear.
swum back to the shore and raised a bit of money for sport relief. Williams.
Would you say you're quite brave then?
I'm a
Because I spoke to someone this week
fella.
who claimed that you were quite a coward.
Well, I'm a brave man.
No.
A brave and fearless man. Let's listen to gossip, and then Matt can try and ruin my reputation. Let's listen to the gossip, standing in the way of control, which is essentially what I'm doing now.
Yes.
By putting this on. Let's
In
listen
fact,
to the
I
gossip.
have got control.
You've got
Can't
control.
Come on, we can do it afterwards. It's been a long
Assassinate
link.
his
Do it
character.
after.
say. Okay.
There you go, the gossip there on the diet of squirrels and that. I like them. I think they've got a lot of energy. Nice. Watch people, lot of energy.
I prefer hot gossip.
Do you, Trevor? I bet you do. Here, we've got this new phone number thing here now. If you want to phone us up, what is the number, Trev? You can read it off that wall easier than me.
The telephone number is 08700 100 600.
Oh, yeah. So go on, say it again.
08700 100 600.
08700 100 600.
Yes.
Call that number if you want. You can chat to us about anything you want, teachers or stuff like that. If you want to come down and see us, if you live, like we're in London, we're off Great Portland Street and Gildea Street, come down. We're here till 1 o'clock. You can pop in. It's in Manchester. There's loads of people down. It's ever such a nice atmosphere. But all people sat around us.
Yeah,
it's lovely,
like a
wasn't
festival,
it?
yeah.
Come down if you want. We're here till 1. We're on Gildea Street. There'll be a bit where you're downstairs in security. You have to fill in these forms. It's a bit tricky. Just turn up. if you like, if you fancy it, come down. Come down mob-handed. Come down in costumes. Come all
in costumes mainly, I think.
Yeah,
you
right,
only come down in a
costumes.
costume.
You don't have to come in a costume. Yeah, come here. Like,
wear something.
Come as you are.
Don't come naked.
Once when I was at school, says Rob from Birmingham, our French teacher was ill and we had a substitute teacher. He set us some work to do and told us to be quiet and get on with it. He then looked like he was doing some work on the computer. Unknown to him, the computer was connected to the big projector and the whole class could see that he was looking at porn on the internet.
Brilliant.
We tried bribing him for better grades or money, but because he was a substitute teacher and not a normal teacher, there was nothing we could do, so we grassed him up instead. Oh. P.S. When my phone says message failed, I exclaim with excitement, "Thank you, Cooper! You're brilliant!" It's a good catchphrase to do that. This is Lorna from Tokyo. She goes, I drew a picture of my English teacher, Mr. French, holding my form teacher, Mr. Palmer's Winky, both with squints of lusty self-interference. Of course, I labelled the characters with their appropriate names. The picture got passed around in class, lots of sniggering. Then, of course, the teacher got his hand on it. Class detention until whoever drew it owned up. That bit where they go, right, because Russell's been bad, all of you will have to stay behind. I hated that.
Yeah, that's
it never works either,
bad
does it?
tactics.
You don't think it works?
No,
I felt a lot of antipathy.
Did you? From your... Well, that was probably for other reasons.
There was probably a lot of motivation for that antipathy.
What I didn't like was when you'd done when you were the creator of the drawing, and then they find out it's you, and then they stand there, and then they hold it up and go, "Do you think that's funny?
It does
Do you think
look
that's funny?" And then you clearly do, because you drew it, and everybody laughed at it.
I think it's quite a good cartoon.
So then you're sniggering because it's like a picture of that person with their willy out or something really immature but funny, and they're going, "You're still laughing. You still think this is funny, don't you?"
Quite good. It's growing, actually, if anything. The humour's getting funnier, if anything. I think that the old education system needs to be reevaluated, the kind of things that we're taught. Abandoned. It's just trying to get you to conform, isn't it, really? It don't really want to teach you anything, just tries to break your spirituality
I mean, you need
and
to
make
know
you into an
stuff.
automaton.
Exactly, yeah.
What do you need to know about? Just be nice to each other.
You need to know how to read and write, read books.
Good to know how to read and write and read books.
Good to have basic scientific knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge of literature. In fact, all the stuff they teach is alright. It's the system.
Yeah, it's the system
It's
of
wrong.
breaking your will.
Why do they do that? Why do they have to break people down?
Because they want you just to conform and behave yourselves, don't they?
But it's not part of a big picture. They just want you to...
I think it happens in an institutionalised way, the way that we need a culture where people are operate as part of a whole as opposed to expressing individuality,
Well, I
which
don't
in many
agree.
ways is good.
I don't agree with those schools where they just let you do whatever you want.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder about
they
them
really
schools.
exist, though?
They do.
They do, yeah.
Where you can just do
Steiner
what you want.
schools, you express
Steiner
yourself.
schools don't do that.
What they do?
No, they teach you stuff. They don't. You can't just do what you want.
You couldn't just come in and say, look, I'm not in the mood.
No,
I'm
what they
having a
try and
fag."
do is they try and find what you're naturally good at, what your natural talents are, and then they tailor the education
So
towards
that'd have been good. If like they'd have just gone, this lad's clearly a show-off. Get him out.
Yeah, see, but me being, like, making jokes and mucking about...
They'd have
so
encouraged
got me
that.
into trouble. Right?
They'd have-
Because now it's my job.
Yeah.
That's it. We all do as a job the things we were told not to do as children. Except for you, Trevor. Christ knows what it is you're doing for a living these days. Who does your hair? How long is your hair? Says Carrie from Northumberland. It's quite long. It gets done by this lad called Brian. Japanese. He is a nice fella. How do you define a good friend? Says Joe from Sheffield. Well, you know, you've seen my selection process. It's resulted in all sorts of blunders. Right, so yeah, come down here if you fancy it. There's quite a lot of people outside already, actually. Hello. Ooh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's, people wearing sunglasses indoors. Normally a sign of stardom or drug addiction. None of these people are famous, so I think it's the latter. So yeah, come down if you fancy it, or give us a ring on 0800 600 100.
No. 08 700.
That's what I just said.
100 600.
Oh, 0800 100 600. Give us a bell on that number if you want. What are we going to listen to?
Some music.
From
Klaxons.
the Klaxons. Listen to the Klaxons. That was the Klaxons. Listen to Russell Brand on 6 Music. Oh, Christ. So, go on, do you want to finish your story, Matthew?
About you being a coward.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is a bit embarrassing because I was going to have laser surgery on some spots.
When was this?
You know that Harley Street doctor, which cost loads of money?
Her
When I
again.
was there last
You
time...
still doing this?
No. Well, last time I was there, she went, oh, look. I said, I've got these spots there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she said, oh, you can have them lasered. So I said, yeah, all right then.
Normal
This is before-
spots?
Yeah. You just get, it's not like an actual laser, it's a light.
Okay.
And then I went there and she goes, oh, the lady who does it is this, where is she from?
She's sort of from Arabia.
She speaks like that.
Okay.
She's got an amazing voice.
She's very attractive.
She's sort of sexy, and she's got, and when you're in her room, you think, she's just built this equipment, she's mad.
She's got the air of a mad professor, certainly, this woman, and you do feel a bit trapped in the room. I went there because, like, she goes, oh, you can have this hair removal like how a woman would have on the bikini line.
Yeah.
You can have it on like, shaving line, so that when you shave, everything will be all perfect, and you won't have to shave, like, your neck or, like, higher up.
I remember when you did
face.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it bloody hurts.
Well,
it looks weird. They fire
her.
electricity at you.
Yeah.
You're just sort of pinned down by that woman. That means you, okay, Mr. Russell, okay, now I fire. It's okay, close your eyes. And then sort of fires, and you feel all light and electricity going through your skull.
It's quite scary.
And she's looming over you, and she's a bit sexy, and she's hurting you.
Oh.
And the last time I was in that situation,
oh no,
it was
cost
very
a fortune.
different. Yeah, it was.
It's not electricity, it's just heat.
What is
but
it?
It's light
chemistry.
at the same time, so it feels like you've had an electric shock. And she goes, 1, 2, 3, poof, and it hurts you in the...
Wow.
It's
Do you
like
make
being
that sound?
stapled
Do you get that
in
sound?
the face.
You get some...
Yeah, it's like being stapled, or you know when a fly flies into one of them blue light things.
Yeah. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah, you can,
Yeah.
even though you've got little metal
Glasses on, it gets underneath into your brain.
But she said to me, I said, because I jumped, right, because she went, I thought she was counting, I didn't know what she was doing, she went 1, 2, 3, poof, and I wasn't expecting it, and I jumped, and I was a bit embarrassed. I said, sorry, do people do that normally? And she goes, oh no, you're very good. I said, oh right, my friend had this, he didn't say that it hurt, I just wondered if it was just me. And she goes, who's your friend? I said, Russell. She goes, Mr. Russell? Like that. She remembered him.
Yeah.
She couldn't get the thing set low enough, right, for him to bear it. She goes, he very coward man. He can't take very much pain at all. I said to him, like she said, it was going to take like 20 sessions, where normally it takes 3, because he had the thing on such a low setting.
I see, yeah.
It wasn't even worth doing it. He's just laying there going, ow, ow, what are you doing? Like that. Mr. Russell, he's very cowardly man.
I like that.
You had it on level 8, right?
It hurt!
It goes, the lowest is 6. And it goes up to about 900. It does, she showed me it. She was laughing, she was going, look, this is where Mr. Russell has it. And I was laughing.
Where do you have
about 11?
How come that yours not that much higher up then?
No, it's a different...
I'm going back next week, I'll have 12.
You won't.
I will, mate.
It hurts you.
I'll race you.
I want to have a go on this.
It's all in your mind. It's all in your mind, because you're not getting electric shock and you're not getting radiation. It's
Something
just a light,
hurts.
but it's heat. It's just like hot for a second. But because you see a flash, you feel the heat, and there's a funny noise, you think it's worse than it is, because I've started to control my fear of it, and it actually doesn't hurt at all.
So what does it do? It just burns out the follicle?
No, it blasts... So I don't know.
So why can this thing work
not as expensive
for a
as you
spot
think.
or for blasting your ear off?
Because-
What is it doing?
I don't know. I never asked. She gave me a leaflet, but I didn't read it.
You were too busy boasting about being able to go up to 11 with your ridiculous spinal tap mentality. It's a preposterous way to have carried on in there.
Did you do that thing where, like, when your makeup lady pulls your hair by accident?
Get off!
Like that.
No, I tolerated it, but I just, you know...
So have you only been once?
Huh?
Have you only been once?
Yeah, only once. I didn't go
So you're
back.
meant to go a few times, otherwise it's pointless. So you've gone through all that for nothing.
I'll pop back. Do you guess who we've got on the line? We've got this
No.
person. Yeah, yeah.
Who's on the line?
Who's on the line?
Sketty, a human female.
Oh,
Her parents are teachers. Sketty, you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You don't sound it. You sound breathless. What's going on?
Well, I had to rush downstairs and turn the radio off.
Oh, you poor thing. You're rushing about in your own home.
Who were you listening to?
Sorry?
Sketty, you be quiet, Trevor. You'll cause the complications. Let me establish rapport, then you'll step in a professional fashion.
Hey, I'm coming to see you tonight.
Are you?
Bristol, yeah.
You live in Bristol. You sound all strange. You do know, I imagine you're wearing a really sort of long, flowing, flimsy nightie. You're clutching a bunch of dead flowers, and you're sort of like looking out of the window with really pale blue eyes, sort of, and looking mostly upward.
Yeah, to Camelot.
Yeah, you're like that lady of Shalott, aren't you?
You're like an Ophelia type of
She's wearing a
character.
wedding dress that she's been wearing for 15 years.
Sketty, are you wearing a wedding dress from the day he was jilted?
Well, no. I'm living my life.
Good, good on you, Sketty, living away, living her life. Sketty, why are you called Sketty?
Well, my parents were sort of a bit weird in the 60s, and,
What, they were weird in the 60s?
yeah. Lots of parents were, I think, and, they were at college and it was a place nearby and they thought it was a nice name.
A place called Sketty, and they named you after that. Okay, dear. And your parents, what do they do?
They're both teachers.
Okay. Has
Did
it
you have to go
affected
to
you?
school where they were teachers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
always
it's
weird.
pretty crazy. And they brought me up vegetarian as well. And it's all sort of beards and sandals around here.
Beards and sandals
Even the
just in
women.
your house?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, Sketty, you know, you seem to have escaped it with a mild sort of Ophelia complex. You seem alright to me, dear.
Oh, that's good.
What are you gonna do when you come to our radio our comedy show tonight? You're gonna hang around and meet us after?
Well, I'd like to, but I imagine you're in your dressing room, aren't you, being all Russell Brand?
Well, don't just be in a dressing room being Russell Brand. No, I'll come out and have a chat and come up to us and announce yourself as Sketty.
All right, then.
Don't do it like during the live show because that'll unsettle me, but do it like afterwards.
Okay.
Could come to me and Trev in a public area where there is security in case you sound like the kind of person who could have a turn.
Yeah.
Could you? Have you ever had a turn? Have you ever done anything a little bit unusual?
Yeah, you probably. Well, yeah. I'm a bit strange looking, so.
Sketty, let me just be clear.
recognise me
I'm not trying to set up a sexual encounter here. I'm just trying us to have a meeting, but I just wanted to be absolutely sure that you wouldn't lunge at poor old Trev with a broken bottle or something. No, I don't think you're Sketty. I think you're a lovely, cuddly one. Have you grown up to be a teacher yourself?
Oh, God, no.
What'd you do?
Acid
I'm a
rain.
holistic therapist.
Ah. Does it work?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, physician, heal thyself. You sound all balmy and confused. What have you been doing? Scoffing nutmeg and doing a line of elderflower?
Well, yeah, I'm not all there. That's why I sort of ring into radio shows.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice to talk to you, actually, Sketty. I've got a number of ailments, as a matter of fact. Sometimes get a bit of indigestion. Yeah, what should I do for that?
Crystals.
Ginger, that's really good.
What should I do?
Ginger.
Just
in
have
any
some ginger?
form.
In any form?
Yeah, in ginger
What,
oil,
as a gas?
burn that, or eat ginger. somehow.
Ginger gas, ginger liquid,
Yeah,
ginger shampoo. Sketty, oh Sketty, Sketty. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Sketty. I think you've got qualities. I think you're in touch with unknown forces. It's nice to talk to you, my lovely. You take care.
Thank you very much.
Take care, dear. Bye bye.
Bye.
Look
Bye.
after yourself,
Bye,
old Sketty. Oh, and she's lovely.
That's what
hasn't she?
children
Just
call
got
spaghetti.
Sketty, give some Sketty. I've just seen a skeleton. Alright then, let's listen to Valerie.
If you
by the Zootons.
coming back from one of your gigs one day and there was a bus crash and you woke up tied to a bed in a fan's house,
Yeah.
like the film Misery,
Yeah.
what would you think?
I think, Sketty, oh, Sketty. I'll just get on with it.
Let me go.
Yeah, you know, if I was all tied up to bed, I'd just try and just think, oh well, at least I'm laying down.
No, you wouldn't. You'd go mad.
No, I'd
You'd be very angry.
I'd be relaxed about it. I'd say, no, look here.
I'm the force of my generation. You can't tie me up in a bedroom.
Not my words, Matt. Chris Evans' words. You know, we can't condemn dear Chris Evans after what he's done for broadcasting. He's elevated us. Right, so, should we listen to the Zootons? This is them electric proms. I went them electric proms.
Oh, yeah, we saw Paul Weller, didn't we? Oh, okay.
Saw Weller. Nice.
Could review that.
Review it. Okay, let's listen to the Zootons.
Okay.
Well. One Chord Wonders, adverts there on Six Music. What did we have before that? Zootons.
Zootons.
From the Electric Proms.
Yeah.
We found that lady who had that, who's got the babysitting dilemma of what to do with her 7-year-old, whether to get a 17-year-old babysitter for him. We can talk to her in a little bit. Before then, really, we're going to have a little bit of news. See, look, Trevor, this is the thing. Like, there's some people outside that have told, like, you told me, Trevor, that there's some people turned up and troubled you at 5 o'clock in the morning, and those people are now sat outside the studio, sat outside here. right? So, like, that is a bit strange, turning up at your house at 5 o'clock in the morning, but there's...
Unusual. Sometimes I do it.
We all know a comedian...
I've done it before. I've turned up at my house at 5 o'clock in the morning
That's
trying to get in.
less irregular.
Yeah.
Russell went to your house for the first time, didn't he, the other day?
He came in,
Trevor,
he did a wee on my bin.
That wasn't on the bin, that was the toilet. It wouldn't surprise me if your ridiculously designed house. Your kitchen, Trevor, is clearly trying its hardest not to be a kitchen. It looks like you just walked into a parlour and went, right, you're a kitchen, and threw a fridge at it. It looked like the cooker looks like it's trying to get out of there. It looks like it's making an excuse. It just looks like, imagine, right, we're in a radio studio now.
My house and we're just rude.
Say, like, this is a radio studio. Imagine we put some straw on the floor and put an horse in it and goes, right, this is a stables. That's what his kitchen's like. It's just like it's not meant to be a kitchen. It looks like it's got wallpaper in there.
It's a kitchen. It's
not a kitchen, Trevor.
It's got a sink in it. It's where all the plumbing goes in. It's where the gas outlet is for the oven.
It's not been a kitchen long.
A fridge.
In the bathroom, there's a hole in the ceiling. He goes, the squirrel's done that, the squirrels. I goes, what are you going to do? He goes, I'm going to kill him. He goes, I've got a man coming around to kill him.
You've got squirrels in the ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got
he's got bats in the belfry. He's got squirrels in the ceiling.
They've come through the bathroom.
They've punched a hole in the bathroom.
Don't say punch, Trevor.
Not punch.
Oh, what? How surprising of Trevor Locke to have a story about things smashing their way through a ceiling.
They were making
Boots,
love or
squirrels. Squirrels don't make love, Trev.
Well,
squirrel's a good word to put in the news, because have we done that?
Squirrel!
Because it's a double meaning.
Squirrel! Oh yeah, because they've been squirreling away funds for up to 8 years. Right now, Catherine Cracknell, you let us down bad on Boobaloo. That is why we Boobaloo the news. Now, if you don't get Squirrel into this broadcast, Matt is gonna lift our mics and shout Al-Qaeda right in the middle. No, he's not. It's just saying it. There's no context to that. I didn't say good, bad, didn't make any judgment, just said them words. They're just words in the English language.
He's actually a jazz singer from the 1930s.
Well done, Trevor. Well done. That is why we can safely say I like Al-Qaeda. Right.
A revolutionary jazz singer.
Oh, God.
Let's listen to Matthew. Stop being so downbeat and miserable and misanthropic. Have some joy in life.
Al-Qaeda.
Idiot.
You
what he
do
did
like
with the saxophone, he revolutionised the genre.
Come on. Right, so now we're going to a sexy little news-reading friend of ours by the name of Catherine Cracknell. She's bringing us news, part of which she makes up for a laugh. Catherine, get the word squirrel in this news broadcast, otherwise you're going to get a and there's a cold sweat, Six Music, Russell Brand, Trevor Locke, Matt Morgan, Sonic Enigma. Have you done a Sonic Enigma, Trevor?
Oh, yes, I have.
Can I listen to... I suppose what you've done is a jingle, have you?
I've done a jingle for it. It's extra added value to the little item.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think? Why is it that you do the jingle?
Why is it that I do it?
I remember, I remember it starting... It's Cooper, not now. Well, I remember it starting, and, it seemed to make sense then, but just to remind me, why is there a jingle to the Sonic Enigma?
Well, some people like it.
Who are these people, Trev?
They're people on the internet, and they say, Trevor, I liked your jingle that you did for the Sonic Enigma.
Can't trust people on the internet. The jingle's 27 seconds long, the actual Enigma's 22.
Yeah. That's 50 seconds
50
of
seconds
absolute
of
junk.
And it's not junk.
Junk, Trev's what it is.
You don't judge it till you've listened to it, Russ.
Well,
what does that make you look like?
Oh, prejudicial.
It does, doesn't it?
Mustn't be prejudicial. Squirrel was in the news!
Squirrel was in the news.
Catherine Cracknell, you said Squirrel in the news, you beautiful woman. Yeah. Mind you, she has to say I'm Catherine Cracknell in every news brewcast, and that,
Brewcast, she does brewcast as well.
The brewcast,
it's around tea time.
A cup of brewcast. I like old Catherine Cracknell, I like her saying Squirrel.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, she is, she's nice actually. She's got a school teacher quality.
Aloof, though. Aloof.
That's what I mean, school teacher. She's unattainable.
Oh, she's absolutely.
She's I think she's a very attractive, intimidating woman. Yeah, she is. But, she's prepared to have a bit of fun. She is prepared to say squirrel in the news if needs be. Yeah. So we've got some people outside now. So this is the people that turned up at your house at 5 o'clock in the morning, Trev, because they're friends with... We're friends with a comedian, Paul Foot, very, very fine comedian.
Fine comedian.
One of the finest, many would say. But, but he's mad, isn't he? So he was, leading people into... apparently they had a picnic in a park with a bag of sandwiches they found. They found a bag of sandwiches in the street. They went for a picnic. Last night, wandering around. Then they've come here. They've turned up at Trevor's house at 5 o'clock in the morning. They apparently got Trevor's phone. How did they get your phone number, Trevor?
I'll tell you how they got my phone number.
Mm-hmm.
I did a stand-up comedy gig. After the gig, a promoter came up to me and said, I thought you were jolly funny. I think you'd like to come and play my club, wouldn't you? What's your
Find this
telephone
implausible
number?
already.
Yes.
Already this story sounds ridiculous.
Oh, come on.
Trevor did a gig and it was funny.
Well, why do you have me opening for you on tour then? Tell me that. Why is that? Why is that? If you don't find me amusing.
We humans have a little emotion called pity.
Oh, I see. Oh, right.
No, you're a very good comedian, Trevor. You're a brilliant comedian.
So go on, you're giving him your number.
And then, about 3 minutes later, I start getting mystery texts from a mystery number.
Which one
saying
of them?
saying
Right.
sort of weird stuff, and I said, who is this? Where did you get my number from? And then they sent this message back: you were foolish enough to speak it out loud in front of me earlier.
They're
when you
out there
gave it to
laughing
that
at this, Trevor.
Yeah.
That is right. Well, you girls, what you've done there is a bit scary. Then you turned up
terrifying.
at Trev's house at 5 in the morning,
Exactly.
with Paul Foot. Oh, look, they're all jabbing at their chest, going, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me." Like they're in a lineup of stalkers. You're very nice girls. I can see them. We'll bring them in a minute, and we'll get to the bottom
Don't
of this
bring him in,
mystery.
Russ. Please don't bring him in.
Well, okay. Well, if you two don't feel scared, we'll bring them in and we'll work out exactly what's going on here. Now, Trevor, what's this Sonic Enigma business?
We'll have to play this jingle now because we've got only an hour and a half left of the show.
Right.
It's only 30 seconds long.
30 seconds of our lives.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
ready, ladies and gentlemen, to just
This is a classic. I have to say, this is a classic. This is a reworking of a Jowett song. I've reworked it.
You've reworked it. Don't talk about
God.
Jowett as if it's Def Leppard, as if it's part of our cultural history. Jowett is Trevor's school band, which even at his school was thought to be lazy, derivative, contrived,
Certainly
and
wasn't
shoddy.
derivative.
Come on, let's have a listen.
Have it.
Sonic Enigma, every Sunday, Sonic Enigma, love you. Sonic Enigma, on the radio, Sonic Enigma, love you, love you.
Rubbish.
Why don't I love you for? What do you love?
There's 7 seconds left.
Get rid of it, it'll just be the same thing. Why, what are you saying love you for, Trevor?
Well, you've missed the ending.
Why would
You
Yeah,
just would have been love you, Sonic Enigma. Are you
It's
being
catchy.
Is it Klaus?
Everyone
No,
I do, it's catchy.
Why was that? How was that a Jowett song? Anyone's school band normally was rock.
That was a B-side.
Trevor.
No, you said well, I don't know. You can sing that now. That is catchy.
Sonic Enigma, love you.
That's not a song. That's like a person trapped.
It's like a boy down the bottom of a well, begging for a bum. What's the matter with you, lad?
Nothing's the matter with me. I just, I'm experimental.
I'm curious. You certainly are. I want to know what was going on with that Jowett band. You sound like a bunch of proper silly sods to me.
It was just me and Paul
Listen to
Baroni.
the actual thing.
Well, I don't know, Matt. I'm thinking that perhaps we should abandon the item. let's not have Sonic Enigmas anymore, if this is the way he's going to treat them.
Russell, people are coming into the studio.
Right, this is Charlotte. Charlotte is the winner of last week's Sonic Enigma. There's applause her!
Applause.
Well done, winning the Sonic Enigma. What was it last week, Charlotte?
It wasn't last week, it was the week before. It was Animal Lovers by Suede.
Right, you cheated, didn't you?
Yeah.
How did you cheat?
I figured out it was something to do with animals, and I just put animals into iTunes, and that came up.
Right.
I put 2 and 2 together, and I got it right. I do that every week, and it
I
was the
think that's
first week
all right.
I've got it
I
right.
think it's cheating.
I think it's cheating. Because
It's
you're meant
being
to use your brain.
resourceful.
Get out of the studio now.
Do you want a
Charlotte,
chair?
Shall I bring the others
you
in?
are
No,
compromised.
stay.
Do you want a chair?
Don't be nasty about them others, they're nice. I like people. I think it's resourceful to turn up at your house at 5 o'clock in the morning and have nicked your phone number when you gave it over to a promoter. That's resourceful, Trevor. Now, Charlotte, you have won, but in a way, you cheated when you won. So let's think of a way of compromising and undermining her status as a victor. What could it be?
Throw some water at her.
Right, we're going to throw some water at you, Charlotte, and you're going to be, like, maybe you have to take your shoes off your feet and put them on your hands for the whole
okay.
time that you're here.
Yeah, do that.
To remind us. Well, she's got to be undermined,
Where
lads.
did you come from, Charlotte?
Brackley, Northamptonshire.
Oh,
It's a
fair
long way
enough.
to
Come a long
You
way.
can't make someone put their
That's
shoes
very
in their hands.
difficult to come from there. On a Sunday
It's very difficult to cover there.
That's Trevor
It's
talking
very
about the
difficult to
bypass.
cover there.
Bypass yet?
But there is a bypass, isn't there?
Please
Don't
don't bring up
talk
a
about
bypass.
bypasses.
Put this on Enigma on Matt, because
Oh yeah,
he's
we've got to
getting
listen
carried
to
away.
it. Right, here we go.
Knock, knock, come in. Hello,
Well,
Bond.
is he-
Q here. Hello, Q. Bond here. Bond. Q, I've got your new weapon for you, Bond. Thank you, Q. Here it is. Pair of trousers. Put them on, take them down, bend over, and bam. Look, it's the buttocks that does it. It's the buttocks, you see. Don't look at the buttocks, Bond. Look. Come in. Bend over. They're dead, Q. Bond, they're dead. Why do we have the same voice, Bond? I don't know, Q.
You're a div. You're a total div.
always
Listen
says
to that.
come in.
I'm a div.
Come in.
Yeah, you're a proper div. Come in, Bond. I'm Q. Oh, bend over. It's a buttocks, Bond. Right, there's 2 things that define your Sonic Enigmas.
Yeah.
One, there's like always a really ancient, antiquated sketch setup.
People look for that. They
Sketches
want that.
from the 1920s.
Exactly.
Hey,
Come in. That's
what's
part
that?
of the- yeah.
And also,
Round off, you say? Perishing hope so. Homoeroticism and the suppressed sexuality of a man who doesn't understand his own genitals. That's always a prevalent theme of someone's the stifled, muggy sexuality of a man in a raincoat alone at a bus stop.
Once people love something, you've got to give them what they love.
Trevor, people do not love that. And as for trying to work out what song it is, sounds like, well, unless it's a song called Arse Fire or something, I don't know where you're going. What about Charlotte? Well, you've not got iTunes, so you'll be no bloody elf.
No, I've got no idea.
Of course you haven't. Other things like iTunes probably are available. Are they? I don't know. I'm, as you know, a person who's suspicious of the internet. Winamp is available. You could have a Winamp. I'll take a Winamp if you don't mind. If you know the answer to Trevor's Sonic Enigma, just, if you can text this number. If you don't, just type into iTunes. Why waste your time thinking? Why bother to go for a beautiful walk on a summer's day when you can sit at home and pop a pill? Text 64046, email russell.6music@bbc.co.uk, you know that number, or you can call us on 08700. Now, remember earlier on, we talked to that we didn't talk to, we talked about this lady Heather. She's got some lad she had come out of her womb. He's been here 7 years now.
When he came out.
He still was a lad though, and now he's even more of a lad. She's worried about getting him a babysitter because she thinks that he'll come on to her as a 17-year-old. As me and Matt explained, that our babysitters were always sexual targets from even prepubescent age. You're right, Charlotte, looking up at me with what can only be described as disbelief and horror. So, Heather, are you there?
I am here.
Heather!
Hello.
Hello, darling.
Hello.
How
I've got
are
a
you?
dreadful cold, so I might sound a bit odd.
I like you already. Because what I like about you is you're one of them people who's not influenced by the fact you're on the radio. You've just like you've announced that you've got a cold. You've come straight in with that. So, you've got a cold. Do you blame the person that you suspect that you got the cold from? If I get a cold, like say I get a cold off Matt, I always, whenever I see him for a bit afterwards, think, you give me that cold. If I get a cold off Trevor, I think this will probably be fatal. So,
I was thinking, who have I spoken to all week that's got a cold, and I know who's got a cold.
Go on.
It's probably her.
Who is it? Let's say her name.
It's called Sue Parrish.
Sue Parrish, you dirty cold giver.
She's given me a cold before.
Of course she has. We're all suffering because of Sue Parrish and her antics. Go on then. So, what do you do, Heather, to get colds off of Sue Parrish?
Well, I work for a charity.
That's kind of, yeah.
For people who
Mind
are
you,
blind
you get money.
and other things.
People who are blind and other things. Blimey.
It's very general.
Can't get a break. Blind and other things. We're just trying to raise money for people who are blind and other things. What are these other things? I don't know, brassed off, cheesed off, peeved.
Other disabilities.
Oh, right, okay. So, what's the name of the charity?
It's called Seeability.
Seeability, that's quite good, but the blind people are prominently placed there, aren't they? You know, they're getting favoured. Did it initially, I suppose it was a charity for the blind, then it thought we are being prejudicial ourselves here by not helping people who are deaf. Was it that?
Well, no, we don't. We can help people who are deaf as well, but predominantly it's people who are blind.
Right, okay. Now, Heather, you say you sort of work for charity, and you probably expect us to like you a bit better than we would if you didn't there, but really, for you, it is just a job and you're getting paid, same as if you worked at a nuclear plant, or if you had a job strangling mice or something.
Exactly, in a
you're
way,
still
you're taking
getting paid.
advantage of the charity.
You're one of the, probably that charity's highest expense is probably wages, isn't it? And then probably followed closely by the blind, and then, you know, you're a drain on their resources, Heather, is what I'm saying.
Dear.
No, you're lovely. I'm only, oh dear. Oh no, I'm being attacked. No, you're
like Russell, who does a lot of work for his charity that got him clean from drugs and goes on about it all the time.
Oi! I don't go on about it. I do good work. I'm raising them 100 grand.
On Thursday, I'm trying to segue to that.
Promote it, yeah, come to that Coco thing. You can come if you want, Heather.
Oh, I'd love to.
Come to Coco. Noel Gallagher's doing an hour-long set. Serge and Tom Akasabian doing some of the Zootons are turning up.
Yeah.
And I think
did read
the
about
rates.
it.
Some of the rates.
In fact, I even looked on eBay at tickets, but they were extortionate.
How much?
They were about 300 quid.
You can listen to it on 6 Music if you want.
I might
for
do that.
nothing.
I'll probably have to do that.
You're not allowed to play Noel's though. Noel's set because you're not allowed to play that because I think because you know he's famous and like his record company won't let him. He'd let us, but his record company, that's the way life is. Yeah, listen to it on Six Music. That'd be dead brilliant. Now, Heather, what about this? So you've got to set out. Your lad's 7, is he?
He's 6. He's 6.5.
Oh, that's a difficult age.
Difficult. What's for you, Trevor? You're probably just watching boots endlessly plunging through a ceiling. What's he like, your 6.5-year-old lad, Heather?
Pardon?
What's he like? What's his name?
He's called Oscar.
Oh, that's a nice name, young Oscar.
a nice name.
Where is he?
He's right here.
Can I say hello
He's
to
sitting
him?
next to me. He's fidgeting because he wants to talk to you.
I'll talk to him. Let's have a word with him. Oscar? I want to talk to Oscar.
Hang on.
Oscar.
She's lifting him up to the phone.
Hello, Russell.
Hello, Oscar. You all right, mate?
Yeah.
What are you up to today? Oscar?
Yeah.
What were you doing today?
I'm going swimming with my dad at the afternoon.
That'd be nice. Do you like swimming?
Yeah.
Are you any good? How many lengths can you do?
I think I can do 5.
Have you got any? You sound quite mature. How many badges have you got for swimming?
Well,
Oscar?
2. I got badges at. I got achievement badges at school.
You got what badge have you got at school?
Achievement badges.
Oh, achievement badges. Okay, that's good. That's good. Oscar, now you know your mum's thinking about getting you a babysitter.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I've got one at school called Naomi.
Naomi, the babysitter.
No, she works at the after school club. I've never had her babysitting me before.
Naomi, have you? Go on.
She might one day.
Oscar, he's putting a case forward there. He's dropping a big hint to his mum.
Big hint towards Naomi. Oscar, have you got a girlfriend?
Yeah, Naomi.
Right. Okay. Okay. Now I see where this is going.
How old is Naomi?
I don't really know.
She's a grown up.
Yeah.
Right.
Grown up.
Already, Oscar, I'm concerned about the idea of Naomi babysitting for you. What do you like about her?
That's because she's pretty.
She's pretty.
Just because.
Just because she's pretty. Has she got a good personality? Do you get on with her?
Yeah.
Do you would you like to hold her hand or kiss her on the cheek or something like that?
Yeah, I like to do every one of them.
How old are you?
6.
What year were you born in? You should know
Children don't know that.
They don't know that.
2000.
2000. That's ridiculous that a person born in 2000 can have a conversation. That should be on the radio.
That's sci-fi.
That's sci-fi. You're born in 2000. Who are you, Judge Dredd? Young Oscar. So, okay, Oscar. Right. So you fancy do you fancy her? Do you?
Yeah.
I like you, mate. You're right. You're 6.5. What do you look like? What colour's your hair and stuff?
My hair's brown and I've got blue eyes.
Oh, you're a lovely little fella.
Does Naomi know that you fancy her?
No, I've never told her.
Right, well, you'll be able to download the podcast for this, you'll be able to play it to her, this is a good way. Naomi, for God's sake, don't be inhibited by age differences. Oscar is a man from the future, he's part robot. If you cannot embrace and love Oscar the cyborg, I don't know what we are as a race anymore. Come on, Naomi. So I think, right, Oscar, it's been lovely talking to you. Let me have a word with your mum again, mate.
Bye-bye, Oscar.
Okay.
Bye, Oscar.
Hello?
Don't let him have any babysitters. He's a threat. The lad he's dangerous. I think he has got the makings of a very, very volatile sexual predator. There, that lad. He's got charm. He's like an infant Hugh Hefner. I've never encountered anything like it. He reminds me of myself at that age. He could be lethal. I imagine that he's now already just toddled off into the garden, put on a pair of sunglasses, smoking a bubble pipe, calling up what he calls his bitches. I reckon he'll be like, within a matter of days, he says his lifestyle is limos, demos and bimbos. That's what governs him. It's all limos, demos and bimbos, Mum. Get Naomi round. You've got to watch out for that lad. I think get him a sort of Mrs. Down. Watch out for Naomi. Are you with Oscar's dad? Are you two together?
No,
So he's coming to visit him for the weekend, is he? Get Oscar's...
He's coming to pick him up to take him swimming.
Take him swimming. Does he turn up on time? Is he a good dad?
Yeah, Yeah,
Good,
yeah,
good.
he is. He's brilliant.
Get him to be a Mrs. Doubtfire style babysitter. That won't confuse Oscar when he grows up. Get his dad to dress up in a frock and come round and sing Grease songs.
It's been known.
Has it? There we go. I mean, that sounds like a solution. I mean, I'm all for encouraging young Oscar's infatuation with adult human females, but I don't know. No, he'll be all right when he's a good lad.
It's good to
He
have
is.
crushes.
He will. He will. And like you were saying earlier, I'm not into like children all being conforming. And
Don't let that lad conform.
Let Oscar run wild.
Go out there, give him a packet of fags, let him on his lounger, let him just get on with whatever he wants to do. But let him get involved in, let him organise a dog fight for his mates or something. He's an entrepreneur, that kid, he's bonkers, he's a tycoon. What makes him tick though?
See, she's only 10 years older than him, so when Oscar's like 27...
37? She'll be too old.
That's nothing.
Could happen.
Yeah, 10 years is nothing.
Yeah, but Oscar by then will still be preying on 17-year-olds, I imagine.
No.
Like, probably to well into his 80s. Oscar will be like a Charlie Chaplin figure, snaring 17-year-olds. No, he's a lovely lad, and I think he'll be safe with any well, not any babysitter, bloody hell, Jesus, there could be some terrible decisions.
Step away.
Step away from the subject. Okay then, Heather, thanks for talking to us, my love. Do you want us to play anything or something? We probably won't be able to play it, but, you know, why don't you just shout a request into the world?
I'll just play whatever you want.
Thank you! What a great
That's the
request!
sort of request we can handle.
We can play whatever we want, that we can do. Any ideas about the Sonic Enigma, or do you just find it baffling and confusing?
I wasn't really listening to
To tell you the
actually,
truth, that's
so
not a
I'll have to,
disadvantage, Heather.
The
That probably
nation
helps.
switched off.
I just looked out the window and waited for it to pass, which was also what happened with my own babysitter as a child, oddly. So, alright, Heather, lovely to talk to you, my darling.
Thank
and
you.
yeah, take
Take
care.
care.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloo. Ta-ta, dear. Right, there's dear old Heather. So she said we can play whatever we want. We're going to play the Pixies.
Yeah.
Valoria, should we listen to that then?
Yes.
Alright then. Valoria, the Pixies, Russ Brand, Six Music. What's up, Trev?
What is Valoria? Is it, what is that?
Well, velour is a material.
Yeah.
I think it's a made-up word.
It's a covering, isn't it?
Is it woman?
It's
Is
a
it
finishing.
feeling?
I think it's a finishing.
Finishing?
It's like Formica.
Well, they're going
or
on about
velvet.
some drapes or something. I
Yeah,
think
he's
that's
describing a woman
like
as sort of
cockatoo.
soft and durable.
My DVD comes out soon, and one of the extras is us lot in here doing the Six Music show. Get
Where's
that
that
What a
on
DVD.
bargain. What a bargain.
Comes out on the 20th of November, and an interview of me, Matt and Trev talking about everything going on about life and that. Some good clips in it. Get that DVD. It'll be out on the 20th of November. Right, we're doing this Sonic Enigma lark, aren't we? We're trying to pour our way through Trev's little brain box. Now, like...
Having been told what the answer is, I think we have to listen to it again.
Well, let's see if we can abridge it a little. Like,
Yeah.
Trev, like, what sort of... The general idea was, as I
Don't
recall...
abridge it, it's 20
Hold on.
seconds long.
Knock, 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 knock. Oh, come in, Q. I'll be the one of the voices. Oh, come in, Bond. I'm Q.
Hello, Q.
All right, there. Oh, we've got this new weapon for you.
Pull your trousers down.
It's your bum.
And it explodes.
Go. Okay, all right, let's get your bum out then. Oh, by getting
It's
your
gone
bum
off.
out... Oh, your bum's somehow a weapon. Right, so there we are. That's the gist of it.
However, our version was actually longer than his.
But better. Look at Trevor, all forlorn and dejected.
I'm out of a job now. I may as well, you know.
Oh,
Have an early bath.
Well, I wish you'd have a bath at all, you scruff bag. Coming in here
I had a
dressed
shower
like
this
that.
morning. Dressed like I'm smart.
He's got a three-piece suit on.
Why are you wearing a three-piece suit?
Because I thought we were going off to Bristol quite early after the show, so I had to get dressed up, didn't I? I didn't have, you know, and now I've realised that you're going to watch West Ham United.
West Ham United!
We
are
won't
gonna go
even
and
make
watch
it to
that.
Bristol.
watching the first half. I'm going to
How
go
are you going to get out of there in time to
He's
get
not
to
going to
Bristol?
get out there in
I
time.
will get there in time. I've got to watch because I've pledged myself to get involved in this stand-up,
What is
sit-down
this? What
is
protest.
So you can't go to the you can't really go to the football because you've got a gig in Bristol, but now you have to go because you've
Promised to
yet
train.
again jumped in feet first into something you don't understand.
What it is, right, is there's this protest, like, arranged by this campaign called Stand Up, Sit Down. There's this bloke that I've been talking to, Andy, on the phone. He goes, oh, you're a West Ham fan. Like, you know, the West Ham are being really tight on people not standing up, like, cause all see at stadiums now. They won't let you stand up and sing during the game, right, and stuff. And, like, he goes, well, you support our campaign. I goes, yeah,
I thought it
alright.
was something important.
It's
It's a
important.
campaign to let people stand up and sing.
It's culture. It's part
I
of
thought they were
people's
going to knock
culture.
down a wall or something. This is rubbish.
So I go, yeah, I'll get involved. They were going to chain themselves to a gate, but then the police said,
bless
don't
them.
chain yourselves to a gate. And like,
Suffragettes did that.
The suffragettes
to get
did it.
women the vote.
So-
Now people are doing it to be allowed to stand up and shout at a football
In a
team.
way, Trevor, it's still about emancipation, about a disenfranchised group, because the people that are penalised are the original football fans, the people that carried football before Sky Television money, when football was still a game for working class people. So like that, they're the people that are being penalised. It's their culture that's being encroached upon. And I thought, yeah, all right, I'll help. I myself, however, do quite like sitting down during football matches. I stand up if a really good song's happening, like, but they go, stand up if you love West Ham, stand up if you love West Ham. Now, if you think, right, this song's got some momentum, I'll stand up. But if you think that's going
Well,
to
you
peter
can't sing
out,
that sitting down. It's stupid.
really is. Yeah, it
wanna
becomes an oxymoron in itself. Hey, what exactly is your stance towards West Ham? You're singing that song, but you're on a deck chair. Now, come on. What are we to believe?
So you are going to be late for your Bristolian gig.
Yeah,
You'll be
2000. I'm not
chained
going to
up.
be late to it. I'm not going to be late. I'm going to be there on time. I'm leaving at half time. I'm going to watch the first half of West Ham v Blackburn. Then, whoosh, off I'll go.
In on what?
A car. Well, I do not think that whoosh is very
Do
realistic.
you know where Bristol is?
Yeah.
Do you know where West Ham is?
Yeah.
Right.
East London versus
West
Country. East London, West Country. Yeah, I think that's going to be at half time. The traffic won't be bad. I better get there as long
Half-time,
as
the rest of the country observes half time at Upton Park. No.
when the bowling ground goes to sleep, everyone in England goes to sleep. It's that bagpuss mentality that
What
sees
about
me through life.
That builder this morning.
Oh,
There's
that
a
was good.
builder up a scaffolding. We were walking along. Goes Russell, like that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's it. We're finished.
And he was wearing a West Ham top, and they realised that they were friendly. Or he realised the builder was friendly.
But he was. The Russell was quite friendly.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, we were going into a coffee place, and Russell shouted out to the bloke very kindly, "All right, mate, do you want a coffee?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll just have a latte." Yeah, latte.
Cafe latte.
Oh, that's lovely.
Latte. He said in that accent.
Latte.
Skinny latte though. Soya.
Sorry, Bill.
Get us a pano shot of that. And a fruit salad, exotic one though, not a bleeding one with apples in it. Yeah, it's really
If
lovely.
I have to sit down in front of my football team,
It's funny. He goes, "Well, what about what happened the other day? I nearly smashed my front room up."
Because West Ham lost to Chesterfield. That's
funny.
It was really good. He was going to smash up his front room.
that's lovely.
No
It's
one
funny that
suffers but for him.
Instead of going, "Yeah, get us a coffee," he goes, "Yeah, latte."
Latte, lovely. He likes latte, and but he does smash up his front room if West Ham go out early in the Carling Cup. Other beers are available. Yeah, other cups are available. So So anyway, look, I don't want to get chained to a fence or anything. But what I did say is because I wrote that article.
You've got to.
I wrote that article in the Guardian when I
What
spoke
did you
to
say? I'll be there.
When I spoke,
I'll be there for the whole first half. Then I'm off to do a gig in Bristol.
Right, what happened is the bloke says, "Can you help us?" I've done I wrote an article about it before. And I goes, right, I'll put it in the article in the Guardian. He goes, all right, don't say I'm going to chain myself to the fence because I don't want the old Bill to find out.
You idiot.
I go,
sit on the fence.
No,
he
listen.
won't chain himself.
I goes,
just said that.
I goes, look, I'll put that in the article. I goes, and if there's any trouble, because if you get prevented by the police from chaining yourself to the
I know
fence,
what's coming.
I'll do it in your stead in front of the Sky cameras. Other cameras are available. I'll chain myself to a fence. He goes, all right, that sounds like a deal. And then so I'll put it in the article, and I've said it now. So now I'm probably going to have to chain myself to a fence for something now. I believe people should be able to stand up if they want to at football matches in designated areas, because obviously we're all aware of danger.
So your dear tour manager is going to come
Gordon,
and
lovely Gordon.
let you go at the first half, then turn up and go, Gordon, I don't know if you've read the press, but
I'm in prison now.
having to tie myself to these railings permanently. You idiot.
Not permanently.
Why do you get swept up in things like that?
I guess it's the romanticism, Matt, of it all. I'm swept up by romanticism.
It's romantic. There's
Yeah.
nothing more romantic than standing
There's
up.
nothing more romantic than a load of people in Bristol watching an empty stage.
I'll be there on time. I promise the people of Bristol. I will be there.
How?
Don't you worry about it. 'Cause I'm leaving at half time.
I hope
No,
you have to get a helicopter and
You
pay
will
for
have
it
to
out of
get
your
a
own
heli-
pocket.
You will have to get a helicopter.
I won't. I'm leaving at 4:45 to get to Bristol. It's 3.5 hour journey. I'll be there in plenty of time. And anyway, they've got one of the best comedians in the country to warm up, young Cocky Locky.
There we are.
How are you getting
He'll
there?
be out there.
I'm going with the tour manager. That is the irony of it. I am actually going to get there on time with the tour manager.
Yeah, but you have to get there an hour before me, because Trevor goes on, there's half-hour interval, then I go on.
Then Russell goes on with half a stadium attached to his wrist.
It's going to be the show of a lifetime with
We're
my
always turning up
brand
late
new
to gigs.
bracelet.
He had to do one over the mobile phone the other week,
Yeah.
because we had
He
to
had
wait
one
for him
on
to
a
do some
phone.
yoga.
I've done a gig on the phone. Where were we?
Cheltenham.
Cheltenham's good, though.
Yeah.
That wasn't my fault either. There was an accident. A lorry skidded across the road. It looked so dramatic. There was a
Wow.
lorry
You saw
laying
it
on
happen?
its side like a beached whale. No, we just saw it afterwards, laying there all out of context, all lost its might, its grandeur, all strewn across the street.
What was its cargo?
Actually, we couldn't see the cargo. I just added that to make it sound more dramatic, like it was lorry blood. But there weren't nothing strewn across the street. It was all still trapped inside the lorry.
How poetic.
Yeah, nice to find a poem about
Lorry
things.
blood.
Lorry blood. Is the Sonic Enigma... Oh, should we listen to Trevor's version? 'Cause he looks so
come on.
forlorn. Coming in.
Knock, knock, come in. Hello, Bond. Q here. Hello, Q. Bond here. Bond. Q, I've got your new weapon for you, Bond. Thank you, Q. Here it is. Pair of trousers. Put them on, take them down, bend over, and bam. It's the buttocks that does it.
It could
The
end
buttocks,
there.
You see.
Could
Don't look
end
at the
there.
buttocks, Bond. Look.
Well, that's misleading. There's
Bend
no
over.
Repeats himself.
Oh,
They're
don't.
dead, Q. Bond. They're dead.
That's a key
Why do we have the same voice,
bit.
Bond?
What was the key bit?
That they're dead.
Right, the fact that they died is a key bit.
I've
Now,
forgotten what the answer is.
here's some of the wrong answers. Is the Sonic Enigma Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash?
That's quite a good
Alex,
one.
good entry.
good.
Deserves a prize. Like,
Good.
Alex, you
That
can
is
come
the
down if you
answer.
want next week. That's a good answer. You can have a prize.
You
We
can
probably
have a
can't
prize.
have a prize. We don't organise things like that well enough. Is it Bang Bang You're Dead by Dirty Pretty Things?
No.
Says Nick
What
Godkin.
ridiculous.
There's no bum connection there.
No, because he wouldn't. Otherwise, Nick, what would all that bit about the bum be? Bang Bang You're Dead.
Bum's got to be
Purely
in there.
Bum's
Trevor's
vital.
psychosis bleeding out.
Is it Spies Like Us by Paul McCartney? This is still Nick Godkin.
Nick, give up.
Do not tell me. I've got a sneaking feeling Nick Godkin's going to triumph today.
No, because
No.
of the simple fact he's male.
And I'll tell you what, Nick, I'm not going to let
Have
him
we still
win.
got that policy?
No, anyone can come here. I don't know why it is only women. I don't know where this comes from.
There used to be a policy that was an unspoken
We
rule.
could never have a male winner, do you remember
I
that?
liked it. I liked it when that postman came and he used to poo on other people's lawns.
He was brought by a female, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, and I did try to get him turned away, but people thought it was unreasonable. No, I like it. I like blokes, mate.
Oh, yeah?
Terry
Well, you
Wogan,
do, Terry Wogan. Yeah.
big old muscle-bound Wogie. Oh, Wogie, give us a snog with his big muscly titties.
That's not his real body.
I don't care. I can dream, can't I? Is the Sonic Enigma backfired by Debbie Harry?
not bad.
James from Leeds, another good entry. You can come down if you want, mate. We're going to be in Leeds soon.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
Oh,
come to
next
Leeds.
Sunday.
We're there
Although
next
West
Sunday.
Ham are playing Arsenal next Sunday, so there are further problems.
Well, we're actually doing a gig in Leeds, though.
Yeah, we are doing a gig in Leeds next Sunday. Is the answer to Sonic Enigma Through the Fire and the Flames by Dragon Force? That's
No.
from Alison.
Never heard of Dragon Force.
Hello, Trev, Russ and Matt. Is the answer Hot Pants Explosion by the B-52s?
That's made up.
Brilliant.
That's made up.
If that exists,
If that
that's
exists, if
brilliant.
the B-52s have got a song called Hot Pants
We will change it to be the winner. That will be the winner. We'll play it.
Trevor, that is not how Sonic Enigmas work.
It does.
Is it... It sounds like Q sticking nuclear weapons up James Bond's bum. Is it Chinese bombs by Blur? That's Darren in Manchester.
No, Darren.
Q for... God, there's loads of wrong answers here. Q for Love by Populous. Secret Agent Man by Cosmonauty. Trevor Locke's James Bond Snooker Fantasy by Jowett. Trevor sexualising Bondy. So, yeah, none of them's the right answer. If you know the right answer, 64046 or email us. Is there someone on the telephone? There's not, is there?
There's no one on the telephone.
Matt, you going to do a cultural review? Should we have a record
Yeah.
before the cultural review?
If you want, yeah.
Should I have a little record? Let's have a little record, and then Matthew can do a cultural review.
The Velvet's doing Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, and what's the time? 12:10. The least appropriate time to do Sunday morning that there is. Just as Sunday afternoon begins. But we can just nostalgically listen to Sunday Morning by the Velvet Underground. Modern Love, Bowie, Six Music, Russell Brand, Cockney Matt Morgan there, staring into my little face with his face. Stephen Lacey sent us an email, Matt's comments on the protests, the stand-up, sit-down protest. One of the main reasons the protest there is that West Ham have started banning season ticket holders from games that they've already paid for, they've banned them for standing games for supposed safety reasons. This is at the same time that Alan Pardew has asked for more vociferous support from fans. Well done, West Ham PR, says Stephen Lacey. Yeah, so it's sort of a valid protest.
Next week, Russell will be setting himself on fire outside, was it, Upton Park?
Upton Park. I am going to...
Because there are no more hot dogs for sale at the West Stand.
People are being banned from games that they've already paid for, mate. It is wrong.
Get behind, it's amazing.
It is a good cause to get behind.
It is a good cause to get behind, honestly.
Right, okay.
Oi, Matthew Morgan, you cynical git. Is it... Right, so we're talking about, yeah, come down to West Ham. It'd be funny watching me do that protest. I mean, I'm just supporting the protest, going, yeah, I agree with that protest over there. I'm not doing
When
it.
you chain yourself to railings and stuff, what do you like, throw away the key?
I suppose you do, because if they go, if you use it in your pocket and you've got, I mean, yeah, and it's a real, you're dicing there with a potential embarrassment. If you handcuff yourself to a railing, you know you've swallowed the key or you've thrown it away.
Do you think if you did it, you'd have to have fancy belts and, you know, buckles from Armani or something?
I think you built yourself to.
He wouldn't just have a normal chain, would he?
I am not being chained.
Imagine the police pulled him. Oh, that pinches!
Oh, you rotters! You dirty bloody rotters! Yeah, I'd hate that. But remember though, I used to get arrested all the time and I was alright with it. I used to just take it on the chin. Remember that time when I got dragged off by police on May Day? You were there, had to watch them, twisting my skin, pinching me, hitting me. Swans that they were.
The police.
Yeah. And then, what other
Remember when we
times?
climbed over that fence after that riot?
escaping them.
And then we got caught.
Yeah, we got caught.
And thank God I had a little media pass in my pocket. Just they're horrible, wouldn't they? Those riot
particular
police. They're probably
policemen.
going to beat us up in that
And a
alley.
media pass got you out of it.
I just went, we're for the telly. Please don't beat us up.
Yeah.
And he went, oh, you're all right. Let's go.
Then we got through it. It was alright in its way. So back to Trevor's Sonic Enigma. Is it Do They Owe Us a Living by Crass?
That's ridiculous. How
Your
can you get
Sonic
that?
Enigma sucks, you nonce.
Well, you're the nonce. What a
You're the
stupid...
nonce.
Look, what's his name?
He didn't put his name. It's a real
coward.
shame.
Is that the bloke who said crass?
Pathetic entry.
Yeah.
He's a punk, that's why.
Your Sonic Enigma sucks, you nonce.
Well, what a stupid entry.
I
How
like
does he get
that
that
to
out of
attack
it?
someone for their Sonic Enigma.
After entering it.
Yeah, and like as if some Sonic Enigmas are alright, other people's, but it's Trevor's. Hi Russell and Trev, is it Ian Drew in the Blockheads Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick from... How would it be that?
How would you get that?
How would
Because
you
they're trying to get that Blockheads recording out of you.
There's
There's a few things you've got to find in your house.
I'm a
you
baby
singing
with
Morrissey songs,
You
the I'm a Baby with a Beard
none of us
song,
need to hear that.
and you trying to join the Blockheads.
The Blockheads wanted me! The Blockheads was trying to
Well, they were
poach
clearly
me.
lost without their leader, weren't they? They went around like ducklings following anything.
They were clutching at straws.
They really were. There's
Oh.
probably a phone box singing for them now.
It's hairdryer and the Blockheads. It's cutlery drawer and the Blockheads. Hi boys, is it Pop a Cap in Yo Ass by that one from Everything But the Girl? Ange from
Why he
Brum.
didn't do a song called that, did he? Didn't he
don't
come to
know,
your
might
gig the
have
other day? He did.
Someone from Beautiful South. Well, someone from
Oh.
Everything But the Girl came
Oh
out.
no, I'm getting confused.
Someone
between them and
from Beautiful South
They're the
came.
same thing in my head. Don't know why.
They're both nice. Here, Russ, when I was a kid, I caught my babysitter making out of her bloke. I was about 10 at the time, I wouldn't mind, but A, she was fat and ugly, or fugly, if you're from Hull, and
darn.
B, I hadn't even been sent to bed at this point. I was still up. They just turned to me and said, go in the other room for 5 minutes. Scarred for life, I tell thee. That's from Gav in Hull. P.S. There's no H in Hull. Hull.
Hull.
Don't be bad about people saying they're fat and ugly and that. Other than that, I think that's a really good email. The people... But do you see your babysitters getting off with each other,
I
Matt?
think so, but I do vaguely think they're allowed to smoke. And
They were
I remember
allowed
that
to smoke?
exciting smell of smoke, and they'd send you to bed early, and that you could hear voices downstairs, and they had boys come round.
Yeah,
Just remember that.
Oh, bigger boys. Oh, bigger boys came. I remember Kathy Burke saying that. Hello, Russell, Matt and Trevor. When I was at school, we had a teacher who used to squeeze girls' bums and ping their bra straps. After being in the school for a couple of years, they found out he weren't even a real teacher. I love Georgina in London. Terrifying. What's it what we learn in this school? I'm thinking of starting a News of the World style campaign of there are perverts in schools. Because it does seem, we've had a lot of letters saying there's perverts.
Yeah? Wake up and smell the coffee, mate.
Let's think what perverts there was at my school. Quiet, Cooper! Those
that
perverts were excellent. That's an unusual... Cooper's really panicking. If he makes that noise, that means I've got to immediately stop what I'm saying and offer a complete redress of the situation.
Do you want my cultural review?
Yes! Time for Matt's cultural review that's approaching with fake optimism. Why are you undoing your jacket for
I'm really warm.
He's taking his jacket off for his cultural review.
This is
What are you going to do, have a fight with it?
No, it's not linked to the fact that I'm taking my jacket
Well,
off.
it's a bit of a coincidence, and You've sat there in that jacket all day, now you get to do a cultural review, off comes his jacket. Makes me think he's not been taking the radio show
what I think, he's come
seriously
to life
up
now,
until
isn't
this
he? Yeah.
point.
It's not
You've
my
been
reviewing
moody
jacket.
and sullen
He's clocking
throughout
on now.
this whole show.
12 now, you
So
clock
the
on.
show's nearly done, and you've turned
Hello,
up.
listeners, and welcome to Matt Morgan's Cultural Review.
Cultural review. What did you do this week? Go and hang around a brothel?
No.
What did you do this week? Go to a singles bar?
No, I went to the tragic event of your stand-up, which I'm now going to talk about.
How dare you
I also
culturally
went-
review my brilliant stand-up
I
in that
also-
negative light?
Silence! I also went to Little Britain, so I saw two of the leading lights of the British comedy circuit's shows.
Who
this
was
week.
best? Come on, Matt. Who was best?
Well, they're very different. Little Britain is really good, isn't it?
Spectacular.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we went to that together. It's
Well, the things I was struck by were it was a bit rude. There's a lot of kids there, and they
Yeah.
mentioned rude things, didn't they?
Yeah, things that we probably shouldn't say on radio.
No, I really said that word. Yeah, but
That
you can't say
F
it.
word, not the usual one.
The
one
thing
that's
he got in trouble
typically
for.
ominously sexual, typically.
What was his name? Julian Clary.
Oh, Julian Clary
Trouble for
mentioned
saying
it with Norman Lamont.
Yeah, jokes
That.
about that sort of stuff
There's
going
kids
on.
there.
But kids there. But, you know, all
Brilliant show, and
really
they're such
good.
excellent performers. They like get right into the audience, terrifying. Cooper, I'm being
and there's a
positive.
bit where they get someone out of the audience, and I thought it was a plant.
Yeah,
and
but it's not.
Williams pulls his trousers down,
Gets a bloke
kissed him
up
on
and
the
says,
bum,
pulls his
pulled-
trousers
it's
pants down, gets his
amazing.
bum out of this bloke on the line. So terrifying.
And I thought, yeah, we were sure it was a plant, but it was actually
It's
a
not
real
a plant.
bloke.
So it's a really
amazing.
good show. I mean, not that bloody hell they don't need
And they have
anymore.
this like it's digital backdrop thing, so
With
it's all
doors in it.
projected. Can you shut up?
Oh, don't be so protective over your cultural review.
No, it's got you know. Russell was there as well, sat there, terrified when they came into the audience. Rightly so. They come into the audience like Marjorie Dawes, walked past, and Matt Lucas saw him, went, "Hello, dear," but didn't go any further with it. But he was like, eating
He said
his own
afterwards
hand.
that he was going to. He goes, "Oh, I nearly got you up and stuff." But I thought, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
dead terrified when I'm not working.
Yeah, because if
that
it's not
happening.
your thing, then you're out of control, aren't you?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And I was scared actually because they come. It's a really good show, but they come into the audience and grab people and take them up on stage and embarrass them. Like for the fat fighters bit, they get this fat bloke up on stage,
A real just a fat bloke and humiliate him.
humiliate him, give him a huge T-shirt, and he ends. It's really funny.
That's the punchline.
But anyway, so that was Little Britain.
Yeah.
And there was this moment at the beginning when David Williams pulled his shorts up really high, and you couldn't help but notice he's got quite a big willy, right? And I sat there and I saw Russell flinch when he saw it.
I never flinch.
Oh, wow.
I'm nodded with admiration.
Then, when we were in the taxi going to his gig,
Yeah.
he goes to me, you know when he dressed up the other day for the TV show and making he wore a codpiece?
Yeah.
He just thought aloud, he goes, "I liked you when I was wearing that codpiece the other day." so you could tell that vaguely in his
He's thinking, how
really
can I make it look
obvious-
bigger?
Well, yeah, exactly. Then we're backstage in the theatre, and Russell put 2 socks down his trousers.
One sock.
He reduced it to 1 sock later, but there was a point where there was 2 socks down his trousers. Then he went out onto the stage with socks down his trousers.
A sock.
show was
One
this?
sock. Dartford.
Dartford
Dartford?
Orchard. People of Dartford Orchard, if you were impressed by the size of Russell's package and you thought, this is an honest show where a man tells us about his life, there was a huge lie going on.
Well, it's only a sock-sized little lie, and it's not about size. It's to stop the seam because I wear girls' jeans.
There's this lie
Oh,
now
come on.
about
They've
it chafing.
No, it's not about
Chafing,
chafing.
come on.
It's not about chafing. The seam of women's jeans is designed for a vagina, so it goes up. That's why there's that whole phenomenon
Why have
of
you
camel
never
toe.
put a sock down your trousers in normal life?
Because I haven't had time to.
Why only on
Look,
stage? Oh,
because
dear.
to protect it going up
What a
like
lie.
that.
Trevor went onto that stage with his normal genitals.
He don't wear women's trousers.
No, I don't. When's that been a crime?
Going around in men's trousers, you pervert. You expect us to treat you like a human. Look,
So
I did
Little
it.
Britain,
That'll be in the
compared
sun
to
now.
Russell Brand, which was a brilliant show, by the way.
Oh yeah, why didn't you mention the comedy, the actual brilliant comedy?
He gets the newspaper at the beginning and he improvises phone calls he does out of the newspaper.
Phoned up the police live on stage page. I'll go like, you know, just get this story about a bloke.
this is undermined now.
It's not
Knowing that
undermined.
whilst you were doing a prank call to the police, you had a little sock nuzzling on the end of your winky.
It wasn't on the end of my winky.
And then
Too
at the
big,
end,
mask the entire package.
To embarrass him in front of my family, I said, pull that sock out of your trousers.
Yeah.
Took him about a month to get it out.
It was falling around. It was around the back, actually. It was just making it look like I had a bigger bum, if anything.
Piles.
Listen, Morgan, right, you pooed, right, throughout your childhood, everywhere you went, you pooed and weed, you can't use it. Matthew pooed in a, right, Matthew this week pooed in a plastic bag on his balcony, right?
What?
His toilet in his flat was busy, so he pooed in a plastic bag on his balcony,
I was
pooed
in
and
physical
weed,
pain. I didn't
and then
weed.
threw it onto the roofs of he threw it onto the roofs of adjacent houses, and then he's been panicking because there's a receipt for Virgin, and he thinks he can be traced because it'll have the credit card details.
Right,
He's
let me tell
they're
this
going to
story.
trace me.
Let me tell this story.
I pooed into a plastic bag.
Man I know.
You did a dirty protest in your own house.
No, listen, I was in physical pain. I needed to go to the toilet.
Disgusting animal.
I went on to my
sling it onto a
balcony.
rooftop.
It's dirty.
Let me have my day in court.
You'll get a day in court, mate. You've been throwing poo at your neighbours' houses.
And
You'll probably get a 5 stretch.
Shut up. I had to go in a carrier bag. I'm not proud of it.
Disgusting
unfortunately,
animal.
I did it on the receipt of the stuff I'd bought. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to claim that back from my accountant. And then I did the bag up and put it in a bin later.
You threw it over the roof,
threw it off the roof.
You dirty,
Why did you do
filthy
that?
animal.
What was the impulse?
He didn't. He did throw it off the roof. He definitely threw it off the roof. He goes, I don't mind you saying it on the radio, but can you say I'll put it in the bin at the end? He threw it off of the roof. So if you live in the Archway area where the pup flinger lives...
Russell did a poo in a pint glass once.
I was...
You two are pathetic.
That was a girlfriend I had did that. She had a broken leg and she pooed into and it all snaked into it. It looked fascinating. It looked like a python coiling into a pint glass.
Can't do this anymore, guys.
Alright, okay, alright, hold on.
No, we have grown up now.
Let's talk about, after the news, we will be talking about Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre. Or is that Camus? I can never tell. They're all the same, these existentialists. Right, so you've got to get into the news, Catherine Cracknell. Plastic bag full of poo. The sock, plastic bag.
Is disgusting.
Get Nausea into the news. Nausea or...
sock puppet.
Sock puppet. Sock puppet!
How can she get that in there?
She is a resourceful woman. She's got a toy boy, she told me. She's got a toy boy, Catherine Cracknell.
That might be a secret.
Well, she's not married, I don't think, but she's got... I hope she ain't married.
You should check your facts, mate.
Well, I've checked the facts, I'm just saying, she's out there toy boying it up.
She's got a toy boy?
So let's go to Catherine Cracknell. If she's not busy fondling her toy boy, she might give us a bit of the old news. We're looking out for the word sock puppet. That's the word we're watching in the news today. Here it is, the 6 Music News. Oh, Jamie T, if you got the money. Nice, isn't he?
Yeah. Fantastic. That is my favourite record.
It's your favourite record, Trev?
Of this week.
You lovely boy. Got some lovely text messages. Sally from BBC Manchester goes, oh, I heard Matt in the lavvy. My boyfriend heard Matt in the lavvy doing a whoopsie last week. Poor old Matt there. He never can escape it. The lifelong theme of the poo-based incidents follow that boy round.
What, I did a poo somewhere?
Well, yeah, but you were doing into a plastic bag. It does rustle.
Dear, dear. That's the emblem of that man's life.
Finally... in the gutter, isn't it? Really?
No, it's not. Come on. Right, so we've got some more answers for the Sonic Enigma. Is it I Spy by Pulp or I'm on Fire by Bruce Springsteen?
No.
Nick Godkin.
Well,
who adds Trevor, I'll never give up. Russell, saw you last Sunday in Manchester, laughed my socks off. Trevor, you have betrayed
wasn't watching the
everyone.
show, he just saw you walk past.
Why have I betrayed everyone?
If he did laugh his socks off, it could help my genitals to look bigger. It's not, you know, it was just because of that seam. It's just because of the seam. That's all it is.
You've got wearing women's jeans now, but you haven't got socks.
Women's cords, right, and you can wear those women's cords a bit lower.
Now. Oh, right.
You want wearing it lower.
Anything, Matt. Don't you know anything?
When you're on stage, everything swells up, doesn't it? It's like an aeroplane, really.
Yeah.
Because I wear my jeans tighter, I wear more belts when I'm in, like, I've done it once, an experiment, because I've noticed that seam rising up. It's been troubling me for a while. There is no corollary between me seeing
Walliams with a huge bulge and Russell thinking, hang on, I'll put a sock down my trousers.
They're as unrelated as you pooing in the plastic bags and plastic bags being full of poo being found in Archway. They're as unrelated as those two incidents.
They will not be found.
I Spy by the Dead Kennedys, someone says. Is it Kasabian's Shoot the Runner, says Sarah.
No.
Is it View to a Kill by Duran Duran, Alan Jepson.
That's a Bond theme.
Is it Dead Bum by Tilt?
Yep.
Is it one of Barry Adamson's 007 themes, such as Bond is Black or Bond Fantasy theme? Don't know how that fits in with the bum bit though, says Patsy. Then she leaves her phone number for us. 9 years ago in Edinburgh, Walliams got me on stage, stole my shoes and gave them out as prizes, the rotter. Or did he keep those shoes and just put them into a ball baggy shape and keep them in his own panty poo pots? What's the worst reason you've had to go to hospital? Well, that's private. So, okay, what we've got to do? Oh, right, yeah, right, those are all the wrong answers for the Sonic Enigma, aren't they, Trev?
Apart from one of them was right.
What one?
I don't remember, I said yes to one.
Yeah, well, that's you not taking your job seriously.
Oh, yeah.
But now we've got someone on the line, don't know, maybe they've got the right answer.
Probably
maybe they do, maybe they don't. And for the first time in the history of this show, it is a man, and to celebrate that, he is called Mano. Alright there, Mano.
Hello there. You alright?
Yeah, I'm really well, Mano. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, You just interrupted me doing the ironing, but
Oh, well, it seems like you're in the right direction. I mean, you know, if we're going to work slowly into the territory of masculinity, are you a gay man doing the ironing?
No, I'm not a gay man.
You're a heterosexual man, but you're doing a chore traditionally associated with women by sexist, misogynist pigs.
And radio presenters. And
I'm not associating that with women, like me.
Well, who brought it up?
A
man just mentions he's ironing, and automatically you call it
assume he's gay.
Yeah.
I didn't assume he's gay. I thought ironing might be a euphemism. Okay, Mano. How come you called Mano?
It's because my parents are from Sri Lanka. So
oh, right, so fair enough, Mano. Yeah. And also, though, it's sort of like, you know, Latin names, loads of them are a bit like that. Emmanuel, Manu. Man. Right. Mano, the winner of the Sonic Enigma, or isn't he? We don't know at this stage. Right, but first of all, let's learn a bit about Mano. What makes Mano tick? Mano, what makes you tick? Why do you tick?
Do you tick?
I do tick. Well...
What do you get up to, Mano?
Like your show, actually.
Do you like this show?
I do like this show. I bought a DAB radio just so I can listen to your show.
Look at that, we are selling digital radios now. Let's take the credit for that as well. Let's hoover up some more credit. Okay, thanks, Mano, for buying a digital radio just for us. Be sure to watch our Channel 4 show starting soon. It's going to be best thing on telly, I reckon. It'll be well good.
Yeah, and I've seen you twice live as well.
Have you? Did you notice how wonderful my googolies looked?
Yeah, they weren't that big, actually.
Wait, now look here, Mano, you spiteful ironing little Nancy. Yeah, Mano, oh Mano, where did you see us, mate?
Saw you once at the Chuckle Club in Aldwych. That was about
I think the Chuckle Club was a 2-socker.
Or was a 2-sock? They're up very close.
And then really early this year, sort of down in New Cross, in a little pub that I can't remember the name of.
That was New Cross. He was experimenting with Tic Tacs.
Yeah, so you've seen smaller gigs. I say, make sure you get the DVD and all, Mano. Do you see how much more promoting things these days? Tim Westwood, that is. Tim Westwood told me to do that.
Yeah.
He sent me some good text messages, Tim Westwood. Come to this party. You are still a ghetto superstar. Otherwise, if you don't come, you are P.U.S.S.Y. That's how he said it. That's how he spelled it in a text message. We'll spell it out, pussy.
Yourself.
Which isn't, I think, you're allowed to say that word in some context. They didn't confuse me. They look good when they're written down. I still put kisses on my messages to Tim Westwood, right, and he never puts one back.
He probably thinks that's your name. X. Sign off.
Yeah, like Exhibit would probably sign text messages in the same fashion, so it probably doesn't unsettle him. All right, mate. So you've entered this Sonic Enigma. Matthew, help me to recreate it roughly. Knock, 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 knock. Oh,
hello, James Bond.
Hello.
Bang. Put your trousers down. Bang.
Oh, there's my bum. Right. So it's something along that line. So what do you think it is then, Mano?
I think it's Echo and the Bunnymen and the Killing Moon.
Trevor, is that the right answer?
Mano, you are a beautiful, beautiful man. I'm in love with your mind.
Mano, you got the right answer. You've got Trevor going on funny. Yeah. Okay, there's a round of applause for Mano and his right answer. Yes. Oh, God. Bless you, Mano. Bless you, Mano.
You are unique. The only one in the country that got that.
Mano, where do you live?
That's really worrying. I live in Manor House.
You live in Mano in Manor House?
Oh, I used to live there.
Mano, the man in Manor House.
Which street do you live on?
Man Street.
It's not very far from Archway, but I haven't got any clue.
What street?
Be careful, Mano. Careful if you live anywhere in North London. Watch out for them bags of whoopsie being slung around. Even if he did live on green lanes, Trevor, how long would they be green? How long would it be before they were brown lanes?
Anyway, you weed in a car park at the castle.
Oh, stop
the other day.
Oh yeah,
along,
Henry VIII stayed in that castle.
Well, that's got nothing. That's not an argument for it. You're sort of anti-monarchist now.
Yes.
You're gonna chain yourself to the railings.
I'll chain myself till King Henry's thrown out of that castle where he treat his wives. It were a sin how he carried on. Mano, oh Mano, we've caught you in the middle of an argument. Matthew, why are you sat there fingering Paddington?
Look, he's got operate his legs.
He's got a little Paddington doll that's been brought in by some people that come to see us here, friends of the show. It's nice, actually.
Yeah, so.
What's my present? Oh, I've got this wristband, that's nice. What'd they get you, Trev?
Ashby de la Zouche postcard.
What is this?
Vintage. It's a vintage Ashby de la... Well, you know about the Ashby de la Zouche.
No, I don't know.
Situation.
I don't understand
We once
it.
talked about this town that he knows about called Ashby de la Zouche,
what was his
and we
point?
said it was futuristic.
Well,
You're starting to lose your mind.
Why?
Well,
Because you can't remember it. It was about 2 weeks ago.
It's a major theme of the
What,
show.
what did we talk about? What did we say about
Well,
it?
we just talked about how Ashby de la Zouche is an anachronism, isn't it? I mean, de la Zouche. It's in Leicester, it's not in the Dordogne.
Well, listen, I don't care about anachronisms in Leicester. Right, now, listen, Trev, you've got your postcard. Matt's got his Paddington that he's plunging himself into.
Look, you put your fingers into his legs and then he can walk along. Don't make it sound sexual.
I don't make it sound sexual. And you were bought that, of course, because as a child you used to dress up as Paddington.
Made to dress up
and not eat opal fruits because you couldn't get them down your little necky wet, could you? Fruit pestles, they won't fit down there. What a poor little sack
What
you
did
were.
you ever dress up as?
Batman, quite a lot.
That's quite good.
Hulk, Batman, yeah, but you know you could get them, you just get a box of it, it's from Woolworths, and you put on the
dressed up
Batman
as Hulk?
costume.
Hang on, I've just realised something.
What?
You find Terry Wogan with muscles attractive, and once you told me that when the Incredible Hulk used to go "Rrr" and push his arms together, he used to get turned on by his chest because it looked like boobs. Green boobs.
At the break of Incredible Hulk, it used to, the sort of the brake bumper still that they used to use was of the Hulk, old Hulk on telly Hulk, Lou Ferrigno. He used to go "Rrr" like that, and his boobs used to go together, all green and nice. And you go, you won't like me when I'm angry. I thought, I bloody well will like you when you're angry. I'll give you a little cuddle.
Stop calling old Walliams gay.
I ain't calling Walliams.
Saying he swam the channel fueled only by repressed homosexuality.
A line that you wrote, as I recall.
No, did I?
Yeah.
And look at yourself, mate. You fancy Terry Wogan and the Incredible Hulk.
I don't fancy him anymore.
You fancy them when they're muscly.
Just when they're buff, guy. You know, when they're all buffed up. And that is when I like to give Wogan a sexy cuddle.
I think you need to...
What's wrong with it?
Work through a few things.
Matthew, anyway, your approach as if there's anything wrong with homosexuality, which there ain't. I likes it. I even know I just fancy Wogan when he's all buffed up. That is not a type of sexuality. I'm not a Wogo-sexual.
What's going on in that advert? He has a fight or something, doesn't he?
Don't know what he's up to, really. All I say is, keep it up, Tell, you big sexy muscly brute. Right, Trevor, what are you doing?
I'm twisting a thing around a thing, wondering when you're going to stop talking about sex, or poo, or wee, or bottoms, or,
Never!
You know, things
That's
that
when,
children...
Trev. We'll tell you what, when you went on the show, me and him sat around here talking about things like Lacan.
Yeah, that's weird, that is.
Semiotics.
Why do I get the blame for...
Because you drag it into the gutter. Because
it's weird, isn't it?
It is weird. I come on the show and it's all about bottoms and winkies. I go off the show and it's suddenly an intelligent, listenable show. I enjoyed it. It was my favourite radio show when I wasn't on it.
It was ours as well,
I can't
Trev.
bear to cut the podcast when I'm in it.
Yeah, it's horrible. Do listen to the podcast, download it. We're trying to get to #1 in the Hit Parade, aren't we? Where are we in the Hit Parade?
We've slipped
better
number
be
3.
two.
Number 3 now.
2, come on, get us to the top of the Hit Parade. Download it from both the iTunes one and our one, then we'll get up to the top of the Hit Parade.
No, don't download it from iTunes.
Download it from iTunes a number of times. Keep doing it.
You can't, that doesn't work.
Doesn't it?
No.
Damn you, iTunes, they're always one step ahead. Alright then, so what we're going to do now... Right, now to surmise the show is the Poet Laureate of our radio show. Why, it's Mr. G. Let's welcome him to Atmosphere. Yeah, alright. Woo! Alright, G.
Okay, this poem is entitled From the Heart.
This better not have anything about me pooing in it.
Put in poo in it, if it ain't, right now.
Okay.
Poo rhymes with you, coo,
Yeah, Russell, he is a poet.
Shooby-doo.
Doesn't need your help.
Boobaloo. Okay, yeah, I'm good at this.
Get that in.
Right. Okay, from the heart. My heart has taken a pity upon my soul, for it knows that once its beating stops completely, it relinquishes all control. My soul is feeling sorrow about my conscience, for it knows that someone has to account for all the wrong steps made in this life filled out with nonsense. My conscience therefore apologizes to my heart, for it bears the weight of our mistakes almost breaking it apart. Matt jumped on train tracks, then interacted with sharks, a far cry from his tape recordings applauding his farts. And Trevor battled with squirrels invading his flat, and Russell got shot by baby gangsters shouting, "Don't do that!" Some view this show as a whimsical farce. Others deduced it as Six Music's broadcasting art, painted with shadows of tears and patterns of laughs, with subtle textures and reflections that infect the podcast charts. So forget the lectures and codpiece conjecture, just accept that it's all from the heart.
Mr. Jim! Yes, alright, now we're talking!
Didn't mention Russell padding his trousers with socks, though.
Because it never even happened. It was not about padding, it was simply about covering a seam. It's just a bit of haberdashery. It's seamstresснess. That's all it is. There's nothing to worry about there.
Is that all you've got down there, then? A seam?
They didn't mention Matt slinging crap around North London. Disgusting,
No, I
dirty
didn't.
and
I don't
sully
know.
in the
That's a
streets.
silly lie.
Why don't you
Didn't say anything.
It's actually true. He's still worried about that receipt because he wants to take back his Phil Collins CD. The poor boy.
Phil Collins.
his heart broken by the whole business.
That's the most upsetting
Right,
part.
let's wrap up this programme. What things have we got to talk about? Yeah, Trevor, sort out them. Are you going to kill them squirrels, are you then?
I'm not going to kill them personally. I'm going to get professional help.
Why do you get Justin Weathercoats round to do them in with a sickle?
We've drifted apart.
Squirrels don't live in houses.
They do. They're up there.
They live in the trees.
They're mating. They're fighting. They're kissing.
I bet they're wearing clothes like in Beatrix Potter, aren't they?
No.
I bet you've got Sylvanian families living in your loft. Sylvanian families, only from Tommy. Other little animal families are available. I bet you, are you going to enjoy chopping them up, them squirrels?
Not at all, no, but I will be glad to, because they're having it off all the time.
What? How do you know they're having it off? What are the noises? Oh, yeah, go on, let me have it. What's the noise of
it's frisky,
sound?
I tell you, yeah, there's a lot of that, and there's a lot of rolling around and sudden movements, and then there's sort of like, oof, and then there's, they're making love
Do
up
it
there.
again near the mic, it's impressive. And then the tapping. Trevor, that's the noise you make.
Squirrels.
That is squirrels making
Have you seen a
love.
squirrel looking out the hole in the roof?
I've heard it up there. What? It's not a rat, is it? It's not a rat. It's not a pigeon.
Did those squirrels, when they made that hole in the roof, were they wearing little tiny boots? Did their little boot come through the ceiling? A little squirrel
It
boot.
was Squirrel Nutkins. I can confirm it was a little booty.
Is this Squirrel Nutkins? I don't like the sound of that
Don't
guy.
get aggressive. He
Well, I
was
will
Beatrix
get
Potter.
aggressive.
He's
I
a
don't like
Beatrix
him.
Potter character.
What does he want?
He
What
doesn't-
makes him tick?
What makes he was nut gathering, wasn't he? And then he got beaten up in the great war between the red squirrels and the grey squirrels.
Good.
He was a red squirrel.
I'm glad he got took down a peg or two while he was carrying
He
on.
was a lovely little fella.
Right, it's time to wrap up this radio programme. Julie ain't here for Music Week because she's got chicken pox. She's got the pox. Julie, she's got the pox. Chicken pox, though, but a lot of people, there's a stigma attached to
there is.
chicken pox.
Oh, dear.
It is a social disease.
You shouldn't have mentioned it.
We're all safe, though, because we're adults. We can't get it. If you had chicken
Julie's
pox...
a child, is she?
No, I mean, perhaps she didn't have it when she was a
You
kid.
idiot.
What?
Did you really think?
Julie
Julie's
was
got
a
it, but
child.
you don't, only children get it, we're safe. Julie's got it, doesn't...
No, it didn't startle me at all. I
don't
didn't
think
see
we
the
should have
problem.
said that, she might be embarrassed about it.
Julie won't be embarrassed about having chicken pox, will she?
Why? Where'd you catch it?
No,
You
I
have
think
to do things with chickens?
You can only get it if you're working as a prostitute.
With chickens.
Of course not. You just get it. It's like, I don't know, of a kid with chicken pox, probably. Breath. I think it's an airborne virus, isn't it?
It's the kissing disease, isn't it?
The kissing disease.
No.
That'll bring us all down. Okay, so thank you very much, G, to your poem. Thank you, Trev. What a wonderful cultural review. Oh, no, that's Matt does that. Well, anyway, I appreciate
don't
all your
even know
contributions.
the
You two
difference.
guys, whoever you are, you've been great.
Just
It's
more
been fabulous
not-me's.
working with you. They're the not-me's are all great. Thank you lot, for turning up. Thanks for our presence. Let's go out on a wonderful wave of atmosphere and listen to Acquiesce. You can come to Coco if you can get a ticket. It'll
Why
be
listen
laugh.
to Acquiesce?
We're not
Why
Killing
listen to
Moon,
that?
we're going to listen to the winning.
Oh, we're not listening to Acquiesce by Oasis. We've got to listen to bloody Trevor Locke's Echo and the Bunnymen.
Good song.
Killing Moon. Okay, well, let's get into it then. Killing Moon. This was the Sonic Enigma. See you next week. Might be a bit pre-recorded, though. We're under a lot of pressure. Take care. Ta-da. Love you. Bye. Bye. Bye.